Check, check. Why is everything all messed up? 2, 1, 2, 2. Yeah, that's why. There we go. This just clicked off. 2.
On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your hosts, Evan and Bonnie.
6:07 on the Get Up and Go Show. We are humping away.
I know that's right.
You better believe it. And you know how right I am? It's always right.
I know that's right.
That's right. We're humping away. It's a Wednesday. It's the middle of the work week.
I heard that.
And you'll never hear somebody say this to me.
You my baby's daddy.
That's because I'm done and over with. Good morning, Bonnie.
Well, you're never done and over with, Evan. You have your kids still to tend to.
Well, kids-wise, I'm done and over with. I'm not having any more varmints.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the actual having my baby kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm done. No more kids for me.
And maybe Rachel's fine with being done for now, too. Well, not just for now.
Not for now. Please don't say that.
I shouldn't have said that. No, that came out wrong.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
You never know when one of you might change your mind about.
That's not happening. No.
You have a big space and a big home to fill. You know what happened when Gavin leaves? And
that's all right. It'll be peace and quiet.
Maybe have George from Kentucky come down to stay with you more.
He can stay as long as he wants. That's fine. But when Gavin goes, you know what they say. Don't let the door hit you in the arse when you leave.
How do you think you're going to feel about that empty nest stage going on?
It's going to be great.
You think?
Yes. Peace and quiet.
Yeah. Gary and I, we have all week together without the kids, and then he gets them on Friday, and we usually have them throughout the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So our place is so busy Saturday and Sunday, Friday evening, and then come the work week, and it just gets so quiet around there with just he and I.
See, it's not even. It's like not even having Gavin home because he pretty much stays in his room most of the day, door shut. He watches movies, he reads, plays video games online with some of his friends. He is looking forward to going back to school. Speaking of back to school, Martin County went back to school yesterday. And something that just didn't sit right with me yesterday is that terrible tragedy that happened out in Okeechobee, western Martin County. I don't know if you heard about that, where the gentleman shot his estranged girlfriend. And did you hear the whole story?
Yeah, that looked rather strange. Weren't the kids home from school and they were doing homeschooling?
Yeah.
And the process of that, and the mom had been home with them.
Yeah, the guy walks in, he shoots the mom, kills the mom, bullet hits the computer, little girl is virtual learning, teacher on the other end is watching as everything happens, sees the little girl put her hand on her ears, and then the screen goes blank.
Was that the Okeechobee area or Indiantown?
Oh,
Evan?
Indiantown. I'm sorry. That was Indiantown. Yes, I forget Indiantown is Martin County.
Yep, I kind of thought it was Indiantown.
Yeah. But what really ticks me off, like to no idea, is they showed this guy's picture online, and it's like he just didn't care. It just the look on his face was like he just didn't have a care in the world at all. What a was he the don't even get me going.
Was he the biological dad of those kids? Did we find out?
Don't know. He was the boy. He was the ex-boyfriend. There was turmoil going on between them two, from what I understand. And police have been called out there several times, from what I understand. So there was quite a few domestics. It just was a toxic environment.
And you know what gave me goosebumps about it too, Evan? When we were just talking last week with Sheriff Snyder about the kids, some of the kids staying home from school and doing their school homeschooling,
Yeah.
and some kids are at a different maturity level to stay home alone than others. And
Yeah.
only, to come completely to that, we find a shocking story like this right in Martin County,
Yeah.
that these kids were home doing their homeschooling, and to think that it was somebody maybe that the kids knew to come in and do some terror like that.
I mean, the guy just shot the mother right in front of the kids, just cold blooded. Oh, it just, I saw that story, and then I watched our sheriff from Martin County doing the news brief, and it just really saddened me. It really saddened me how somebody can do something so cruel like this. And then the guy admitted that he did it. He said, "Yes, I killed her." So there's probably not even going to be a trial. This guy, I hope this guy rots.
We'll have to find out more as the story does develop, and all of the ugly reasons that could be behind it and whatnot.
I know mental health is so bad right now, especially with COVID and everything. People are just not mentally well. Seek help. If you need some help, go get some help. Don't kill somebody.
Yeah, we even have
God's
that
sakes.
211 line now that we can call in the Palm Beaches.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we're having a really bad day, or maybe any suicidal thoughts.
Yeah, just pick up the phone and call a friend. Kind of like when you're playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, phone a friend.
I think they're going to be having a suicide hotline coming up pretty soon too, where you can, just
there is
call
one.
that hotline and talk to that counselor on the other end.
Yeah, there is one. It's a 1-800 number. There's so many different avenues that are out there for people to call that need help. But gosh, don't resort to violence. That's just as you could tell in my voice, that just didn't sit right with me at all yesterday.
Yeah, a lot of mental problems out there, a lot of mental health issues with some people, that's for sure.
I mean, everybody has problems. We all do. I do, you do. Rachel does, Gary does. Everybody has some sort of a mental health issue. If we didn't, we wouldn't be normal. But, just to pick up a gun and kill somebody. Oh, man.
Well,
I feel bad for the kids.
Yeah.
The kids had to watch that.
Have to be home.
Those kids are mentally scarred for life.
It's very much like that story, too, we had a few weeks ago, the tragic story in the Club Med neighborhood in Port St. Lucie, where the neighbor came over with a shotgun over a dog.
Yeah.
And he got fined from his dog that day. And, he had a fine on his chest. And
poor little girl got
the little
killed.
girl and kids that were inside the house.
The dad and the little girl died, and then the guy killed himself, which I wish he wouldn't have killed himself, because I would have loved to have seen him rot in a cell. And then, prisoners, they don't take lightly to when an adult does damage to a child.
No, I'm sure they don't.
And
yeah,
boy, he would have paid dearly.
Yep, I'm sure. On a high note, we did have a good day with the Martin County schools reopening yesterday. Looks like everybody got back to school okay, and the roads were really fine yesterday. Usually on that back to school first morning, we see a few accidents on our side streets and whatnot.
Yes, I was watching the news yesterday on Channel 5. I saw they interviewed a couple of kids that went to school, and they got a couple of snippet bites, and some of the kids were pretty much said it was just like school is normal. It was just like nothing really changed. Everything was normal except, wearing a mask, social distancing. They showed some pictures of the kids. They talked kids getting off the bus. And then I watched a TV special on television last night at 7:30, where they had reporters going all around the country. For 1 hour, they would watch shoppers going into stores, and they would mark down the percentage of how many people had a mask and how many people didn't have a mask. And there was one state they were in that for an hour, they sat outside the store and 37% of the people
Mm-hmm.
only had a mask on.
Yeah.
63% did not wear a mask going into the store where it was mandatory by the local authorities. And then they did an experiment with kids in a school, and they put a bunch of kids in a room, in a playroom. They had hidden cameras, and they wanted to see if the kids would keep the masks on or take them off.
Did they take them off?
No,
My
not
guess
at
is
all.
they
The
would.
kids did much better than the adults.
Really?
They didn't even touch those masks. 100% of those kids kept their masks on.
Well,
They didn't even touch them.
They were probably told what to do by their parents or their leaders, and they were well-respected kids that way.
Yeah.
But some of the adults get to be like, you're not telling me to wear a mask. Now don't be telling me what to do.
Yeah, they get on their high horse like their crap don't stink. But you know what? It's not about that. It's not about being on a high horse right now.
Yeah.
It's about trying to, curve all this crap that's out there. And if curving it is going to, by wearing a mask is going to help curve it, then just put the damn thing on, and walk around. I mean, you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to take heed to what I'm saying, but just wear the damn thing. If it's going to help, if it can save one life, just put the damn thing on and be done with it.
Yeah.
You wear yours where you go. I wear mine, where I go. When I have people coming into the studio here that I don't know, I wear a mask or I wear a neck gaiter. So, I practice that. My wife, where she's a teacher, they wear masks in the school. They haven't gone back yet. They'll be going back another week or so. I went to a venue yesterday, and I went one or two places, and I just saw people like not wearing face coverings. And I'm like, what the heck are you thinking? It disgusts me, to be very honest with you.
Well,
I'm just very disgusted by all of this.
Well, the only thing that I do consider, Evan, when I do go out is considering that some people might have a medical condition where they can't be wearing the mask.
And you know what? I respect that.
Yeah.
And those people are the exception to the rule. Okay, I will say that much. They are the exception to the rule. And if they cannot wear a face covering due to health issues, then, so be it. I leave those people alone. I'm not going to say nothing negative about those people, but it's the ones that are walking around that are making this thing political, where it's, you can't make me wear a mask, so I'm not going to wear one. They're on their high and mighty horse, and those are the ones that are going to eventually catch something. And then somebody's going to say to them, told you so.
Well, we can only hope that they won't catch anything, though. I mean, no matter how much people say they may not wear the mask, I would not wish,
no, I don't wish any. I don't
on anybody.
I don't wish any ill will on anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah.
But at the same time, get off your high horse. Really, I mean, just get off your stupid high horse and just wear the thing, and just be done with it. And maybe by Christmas time, and I don't say that, jokingly, but maybe by Christmas time, Santa Claus won't, excuse me, Santa Claus won't have to be in a stupid bubble inside plexiglass at the Treasure Coast Mall, and the kids can sit on Santa's lap.
Well, Santa is already like wearing a mask when he's sporting that beard always. He has that beard
Yeah, but
on.
that does nothing. That doesn't protect
He'll
him.
probably have to have be wearing something extra, a special mask for Santa to wear.
You think about it, Christmas is going to be here. This is August.
It is.
4 months, and we're at Christmas time.
And you know what? We're already seeing Halloween candy coming out in the stores. The reason being is that the producers of the candy think it's going to be such a weak season in general because the COVID going to screw up trick-or-treating and everything. They don't want to lose their revenue.
Yeah.
They want to get geared and start getting it out there early.
And Santa's an elderly gentleman, so he's more prone to catching something. So it's like,
that's right.
They're gonna wind up putting them in a bubble, and I say that seriously. They're gonna put them inside plexiglass,
Wow.
and the poor kids are not going to be able to sit on Santa's lap and talk to Santa this year.
Do you remember that movie, The Boy in the Bubble?
Yeah.
Wasn't John Travolta in
Yeah,
that?
I remember the
Yeah.
movie. So I'm dreading Christmas this year because
Are you?
I don't want to go. I haven't been to the mall since February.
Wow.
I have not been inside the mall since February. And I'm dreading going to the mall to seeing what they're doing, to see kids that are going there to go visit Santa and they can't visit him because of what's going on.
Mm-hmm. You see, I've been to the mall because I go to Cohen's Optical and I get my
Right.
contact lenses from there.
And I bet you everybody in there's got a mask on that's behind the counter.
Yes, they do.
Right.
And this is cool too for people that do go to Cohen's. There is now one open in St. Lucie West.
Oh.
Where if you have to get your optical, your lenses there,
Okay.
you can also go there. They
Okay.
open too. But yeah, I've had to go to the mall for that reason. Still waiting for Regal Cinemas too to open up, Evan. And
You might be waiting till next year,
the
unfortunately.
I think the only movie theater in the area that is open is Sable Palm Cinemas. That's in Fort Pierce.
Well, you have the drive-in movie theater up at Causeway Cove Marina in Fort Pierce.
That's always a
as
great
well.
option
my,
too.
My buddy runs that.
Yeah.
And he's been very successful. They've been getting, 200 to 300 people in there to watch movies.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people, but
can
they're
fit
staying,
a lot of cars
they're
in.
staying in their cars.
Yeah.
Big screen. They stay in their cars, air conditioning on, and it's all done through the FM radio. And you know what? Social distancing is being practiced, and that's exactly what they're doing up there.
And it'll be kind of cool for the teenagers to get this movie experience because they've never experienced that before, to go to the drive-in theater with the parents.
6:22, it's news time. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by on a Wednesday morning. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Tropical Depression 11 formed Tuesday afternoon in the Atlantic Ocean, according to the National Hurricane Center. WPTV's chief meteorologist Steve Weigel tells us more.
It looks like this one may develop into a tropical storm, a named storm, a little earlier than expected, likely by this time tomorrow. It's about 2,500 miles away. And at this point, not expected to have any impact on South Florida's weather, and the computer model tracks keeping it offshore. But it is trying to get better organized, and it is expected by this time tomorrow to be a tropical storm Josephine and track just to the north of the Leeward Islands on Saturday and Sunday. In fact, by Sunday late in the day, it's north of Puerto Rico and starting to make that turn east of the Bahamas. More likely, that's where the long-range computer models are suggesting. GFS and the Euro both agreeing on that as a weak tropical storm at that point, too. The computer model tracks, most of them in pretty good agreement, keeping it well north of Puerto Rico. A couple of outliers here, likely seeing that the Bermuda High is a little bit stronger, and these ones here, consensus, keeping it a little farther north and away from South Florida.
Martin County Schools opened their doors Tuesday morning and welcomed students and teachers back into the classroom. WPTV's Ryan Hughes has the story.
Chloe Tolton walking off the school bus after finishing her first day as a freshman at Martin County High School, and the first time back in a classroom since the coronavirus crisis.
It's definitely different to have the teachers not interact with you as they normally would. No one can get super close to you.
Chloe's mom snapping back to school photos in the backyard, then the 14-year-old boarding a bus where students now have to socially distance.
I sit on the bus with my good friend, and we're not squished together. We're a good way apart.
Masks are now required on campus, and junior Stephen Okie tells us he did see changes inside the building.
At lunch, there's a limit to the amount of people per table, and every other chair is marked off so you can't sit in it.
In the hallways, they put down tape and arrows to direct you, and there were only one-way hallways.
Despite that, Stephen says the first day felt almost normal, and the conversation at the lunch table.
Nothing really about Corona or anything going on, just friends catching up.
Both students say they wanted to go back to school because virtual learning wasn't for them. It's the first step forward, and they both hope it sticks and everyone stays healthy.
I also know that I'm going to practice the procedures of staying healthy and good hygiene. So I know that I'm going to keep myself as healthy as I possibly can.
And the superintendent says that 38% of students in the district chose virtual learning to begin the school year, but they can switch to in-classroom instruction later down the road. In Martin County, Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
And Florida is coming off its deadliest day yet in the coronavirus pandemic.
The state announced 276 more resident deaths from COVID-19, surpassing the previous single-day high of 253 on July 30th. Another non-Florida death was also announced, bringing the combined total to more than 8,600 virus-related fatalities since the state began tracking the pandemic. The health department also reporting nearly 6,000 new cases of the virus. I'm Rick Hoschel.
Lastly, more than a year after their tense exchange in an early Democratic presidential debate caused a stir, Joe Biden and Senator Kamala Harris will team up on the Democrats as the Democrats try to oust President Donald Trump in November. The former vice president announced his selection of the California senator after months of speculation. He called her a fearless fighter for the little guy and one of the country's finest public servants. NBA basketball scores. We do have the Grizzlies get beat by the Boston Celtics yesterday, 122-107. Phoenix Suns take the 76ers by a score of 130-117. The Rockets lose to the Spurs, 123-105. And the Brooklyn Nets beat Orlando Magic, 108-96. Also taking wins yesterday, Sacramento Kings, Portland, and the Milwaukee Bucks taking a win. News time 6:27 and weather and traffic together are next.
.628 the time on the Wednesday edition of the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, we're not seeing any traffic accidents to report right now for Port St. Lucie and Stuart. The roads are looking fine on a Wednesday morning. There's your latest look at traffic. In Stuart, we have 77, and here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with some coastal rainfall possible. This afternoon, hot and humid with highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies and light southeasterly winds. Showers and thunderstorms will develop close to the coast this afternoon and then slowly move inland, and a few strong storms are possible. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Are we there yet?
You asked 2 minutes ago, so we're 2 minutes closer.
Are we there yet?
Stop asking.
You asked me 20 times.
Are we there yet?
We're still on the street where you live. We've got like 4 more hours. Boy band time.
Everybody, flush the party. Everybody, wipe that party right.
And also,
Clean that rim tonight.
Yes, please.
dance along with me, baby. Come on. We might actually do want to do this, and it's not too bad.
Yeah, the 10-year-old of mine.
Hey, you know what boy band that is, right?
Oh boy, I should.
Come on.
Should really be ashamed.
I can't believe you don't know what boy band this is
Yeah.
in real life.
I was gonna say maybe New Edition.
No, no.
Oh, wait a minute. Backstreet Boys, right?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
I think they're probably my favorite boy band.
Yeah,
Is
this
the
is-
Backstreet Boys.
This is that family that does all the parody songs.
Yeah.
I came across this one at 5 o'clock this morning.
Sounds like that family they're up doing it, rock and rolling all night.
Yeah, they're doing their thing.
I wonder if they're still like all in quarantine, all of them. I know we had them on back in, what was it, late March, I think.
No, that's not that family. This is a totally different family.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
this
thinking
is
of
another different
I'm
family.
thinking of that musical Family that we had on right here, and
Mhm.
they did a parody of some song, and
I don't remember
they
what it was.
did it really well anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole family was quarantining back when the quarantining was all brand new for most.
Yeah, definitely so. 6:33 right now. The Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for viral videos. Oh, Bonnie, I know you're going to like this first one. There's a video that's been making the rounds of a cat that plays a miniature piano when it wants to get fed food.
Oh man.
Yeah. The piano is on the floor within reach of its paws, and the owner says the cat also bangs on the keys when it wants the litter box to be clean.
Even its litter box. Not only
Yes.
food, but change my litter box,
Yes.
please.
Yes. So here we go. Let's listen.
Is it time for dinner? When is dinner time? It's not now.
So she has a conversation like you do with Big Kitty.
Yeah.
I think that could be Big Kitty.
That could very well be Big Kitty. It kind of looks like him.
Right?
It looks like my Hansi too.
Yep.
Yep. But it kind of sounds more like Jack Frosty. My Jack Frosty has that smaller little Mew sound going.
That is pretty impressive that the cat plays the piano when it wants to be fed, and it also wants to get its litter box changed.
Yeah. Do you see
Like,
how
please
smart?
change my poopy.
And the cats really like it clean too. They really hate it when they have to go to that
Mhm.
dirty litter box. And they shouldn't have to, and then they tend to pee elsewhere. So you got to keep it clean, I guess.
Hey, listen, wherever the cat wants to pee, the cat wants to pee. I've seen cats use toilets before. You ever seen that?
I saw that in Meet the Parents with Robert De Niro's
Yeah.
kitty and that Mr. Jinxie.
Cat will get right up on the toilet and squat and
He
just
did.
pees right in the toilet.
I think I'm going to try to teach my cat to do that.
Okay.
Gary is probably at home scratching his head going, when are you going to find the time to teach your cat to do that? We have to clean the garage, which I got to start doing later today.
Okay.
So no time for cat training, but it would be fun once I do get the time.
Well, in between moving boxes, you can teach the cat how to pee in a toilet.
Yeah, maybe
There
I
you
can
go.
find a few boxes too that are in the garage for the cat to pee in.
There you go.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't smell right, but that's besides the point.
It's horrible.
A family decorated their house recently for their mom's birthday, but when she got home, all she did was bitch and complain, basically. Yes, bitch and complain
Oh,
about
really?
the entire mess. They had to tell her to look up and notice the streamers and the balloons before she finally figured out what was going on.
She didn't know it was for her. She
No.
didn't notice the decorations.
No
right?
idea.
Oh my gosh.
No idea.
She comes home and she probably had a disgusting day anyway. She just didn't look happy when she got home, and then it looks like her kids decorated for her with all these birthday balloons.
Here's the audio. Let's listen.
Okay.
Look, all of this still waiting for Mother because nobody can do this. Organize this kitchen. Nobody.
Look up. I swear to God, I hope you.
Oh my God! You
Yeah.
did it without Malak. She's gonna be so upset.
That's what she's worried about. Malak and the house isn't clean.
See, that would be me, because like when I walk in the door, I have like this ritual that I do when I walk in the door.
Yes.
I run my fingers across the counter, just to make sure there's no residue left on the counter.
Gary does that too. If there's any crumbs
Yeah.
on the counter, he goes complete.
Oh,
he
I
goes
go
a little bit
nuts.
nuts too.
Yeah, I do. I go nuts.
You guys, are all men like this?
Just clean the flipping counter.
Sometimes
That's all you got to do.
Sometimes you go to cut some bread or cheese, and the crumminess, they crumb around, and then it kind of blends in with the countertop, and you can't see it.
You know how much of a neurotic I am? I get down to eye level of the counter.
You do?
And I look right on the counter, and I can see the crumbs on the counter. And that will drive me insane.
I can see that you drive your family nuts too, Evan.
Yeah. But I like a clean house.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
I like a clean house. If you're cooking and you make a mess on the stove, wipe your flippin' mess up.
Clean it up right away. Now, do your dishes go in the dishwasher nightly like they should?
We
every
don't
night?
use a dishwasher.
Okay.
No, we don't. Got to say good morning to Tony Matson and Michael Cooperman.
Oh, Tony Matson's my very good friend.
Yeah, Tony's on our Facebook feed this morning.
And Tony is related to my sister-in-law, Jill.
Hey, Tony, how you doing, Tony? Where's Tony watching us at? You know?
Hi, Tony
what I'm
Matson.
saying? Where's Tony at? What area is he in?
Hey, Evan, he's in the upper Northwoods area. No, he's like in central, or I think he's in central Wisconsin now. I think Tony is in central Wisconsin or southern Wisconsin.
Well, Tony, if you're listening, which I know you are, and you just say good morning, we would love to hear from you this morning. So the number to call in is 772-220-9788. I'll repeat it so this way you can write it down again. 772-220-9788.
Yes, Tony, give us a jingle and we will mingle.
Yes.
Evan,
really?
Oh, there was like
on the radio we're going to do that?
There's a video that they're doing on TikTok now, since we were on the idea of cleaning dishes and keeping your house clean and the countertops clean. People are doing like a Tupperware demonstration where if you have your Tupperware that's dirty, maybe a circle ring around inside.
Oh, that's another thing that drives me nuts.
Yeah, I know.
Dirty Tupperware.
Yeah, they're saying if you put sudsy, soapy dish soap water in the Tupperware and put a paper towel, like a solid brawny paper towel in there, and just kind of shake it up, just shake it in your hands, that it's supposed to clean the Tupperware that way, that easily.
You know, one of the biggest issues we have some plastic bowls in our home. And when Gavin will go to eat spaghetti or something in the bowl, and then you go wash the bowl out,
yes,
it stains the bowl orange.
Yeah, that kind of
and
drives,
you can't get that out.
That drives me crazy too.
You just can't get that orange stain out.
I know, and
it stays there.
That orange stain in that, and something that drives Gary crazy too is I know, like his ex-wife bought us these nice plastic cups that you can wash in the dishwasher.
Right.
And they're large cups, like for Kool-Aid, and you know they're great for the kids. They're like a plastic cup. Well, there's white ones and they're gray ones. Well, I guess it doesn't matter what color, but sometimes I go and, take a drink of something, or I'll have my coffee in there in the morning and I'll get a lipstick stain on it.
Okay.
And that lipstick stain will soak in too, and sometimes it's harder to get out than that spaghetti stain on the plastic.
Speaking of stains, last night I went to go have a glass of milk in one of my red plastic cups. So I took it out of the cabinet and I pour my milk in there, and now all of a sudden I'm seeing like a red, like my milk is now strawberry.
Oh, good gosh, that's gross. Now, admittedly, that's very gross.
Apparently, whoever used the cup before me didn't wash it out enough.
Oh, no.
And there was a little bit of red residue in there. So I was like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah.
So I just drank the milk.
Or it's like if the milk residue stays on the bottom of the glass and
yeah.
you didn't wash it out completely, and then you go to get a glass of water, and then you got those little milky, flaky swirls like running around in your water.
That's disgusting.
That is.
Lastly, one more viral video. If you haven't seen it yet, John Stamos, otherwise known as Blackie.
Oh, Blackie.
Remember Blackie?
Yeah, from Full House and now on Fuller House.
Yeah.
Right.
John Stamos stars in a very funny Geico commercial.
With his full head of hair.
Yes. The announcer tells a woman how much money she can save, but when she doesn't seem excited, he says, "What are you waiting for, John Stamos, to knit you a scarf?" So here's the commercial. Let's listen in.
Did you know Geico is now offering an extra 15% credit on car and motorcycle policies?
That's great.
That's 15% on top of what Geico could already save you. So what are you waiting for? John Stamos to knit you a scarf?
All finished, Jane. Enjoy.
Thank you.
I give.
Stitch work is impeccable.
That's just a double fleck pattern with a reverse garter stitch. No big deal.
Is your hair this soft?
Softer.
Geico. Save an extra 15% when you switch by October 7th.
Why do the insurance commercials always seem to have the funniest writing?
I don't know.
The insurance ones, they just go right. They just always come across as funny. And they come up with some
no idea
with some really good ones. And that would be neat. John Stamos would be almost better than my grandma knitting me a scarf. Or a sweater.
Yeah, I would. That's just crazy stuff. I mean, seeing John Stamos do that's like, wow.
That's hilarious. Yep.
So, did you know that according to Cosmopolitan, Bonnie, 67% of Americans have posed naked for a photo at least once, even though it could come back and haunt you?
Like those
67%
risque photos, maybe a photo that you might have taken like a long time ago, and
like in a drunken stupor or something like that.
You were having fun with your partner at the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you're wondering where that photo is because your partner probably has it, and you didn't know that everything would go viral in these upcoming years, and now you're wondering where that photo really is.
Okay, so now it's time for fess up between you and me. Have you ever posed risque for a photo in your entire lifetime? Ever?
I think that one I put on Facebook last Saturday was a little bit on the risque side for me.
No, that's nothing.
It was a little bit risque because, I don't know. It's just kind of like, you get to a certain age where you want to watch your reputation and what you put out there as a grown woman.
Right.
I don't want to be putting this risky shots and saying, "Hey, I'm Bonnie. Here's my chest, Hey, this is Bonnie. Here are my tight buns."
Okay.
So,
okay.
But like what I put on there Saturday, I just kind of like showed myself going to the pool and sporting my new bikini, and
but you couldn't really see anything. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
You didn't show anything, so it wasn't risque.
Yeah.
All you saw was one strap of a bathing suit.
Yeah,
and that was it, and a smile for a mile.
Yeah, even with something like that, before you put it on there, you tend to be maybe it's a little bit risque.
What about in your younger days?
The younger days,
did you ever do anything risque? Pose for a risque photo?
No, Playboy never called me.
Okay.
So.
It was Penthouse. Okay.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
Oh good gosh, no.
All right.
Penthouse, that would even be worse.
All right.
From what I hear.
That, or you can, or maybe Swank. I don't know. Anything's possible.
Did you ever take like a risque photo?
I have.
Yeah.
I have.
Were you like Burt Reynolds, kind of lying on a bear rug?
That's kind of like what I did.
Really?
I did. This is like when I was in my 20s. Yeah.
Evan on a shaggy rug.
Yeah, I was actually. That's funny you say that because I did do that. Somebody dared me to do that and kind of put a cowboy hat over my junk and take a picture.
Yeah, isn't that what Burt Reynolds did?
Yeah.
Wasn't there?
Yeah,
that classic?
I did the Burt Reynolds pose. and if my wife is listening
Oh
right
my
now,
goodness.
she just learned something new that she never knew about me.
Your wife is probably going to say, "Hey,
Yeah.
where's that photo?"
Yeah, I did the Burt Reynolds junk in the trunk picture.
Now, is this something that you would do to be funny? Would you put that photo on Facebook for like a throwback Thursday or something?
Heck no.
And share it,
No.
from just to have
No,
somebody
no,
giggle.
No.
You
no.
wouldn't want to share the laughter.
No, this 60-year-old guy is not putting a photo of a hat over the junk in his trunk and nothing else on. No.
Were you wearing a mullet? Did you have a mullet
I
at the
had,
time too?
let me see. I was in my 20s. I had about 3/4 of a head of hair back in the day.
Oh wow!
I started losing my hair when I was like 20.
You should get in touch with John Stamos.
Yeah. Oh boy. Lord only knows. I'm afraid to answer this phone call this early in the morning. Good morning. Who's this?
Hey, it's Marty. Good morning. You should be afraid.
Naked and afraid.
Wait.
I have a question for you.
Oh boy.
Was it a bolo or was it a 10-gallon hat?
Let's just say a 10-gallon hat would have been way too extreme.
Well, at least you're honest.
Yeah, I'm being honest. I mean, it could have said, well, I had a 10-gallon hat and it didn't cover enough. So, I mean, what the heck? But Marty, and while we've got you on the line, have you ever done anything risque before in your younger days?
I got married.
Oh.
Okay, well, that's not risque, though. I mean, most people do. A lot of people do that. Some people don't.
Was it the risk worth taking, Marty?
Well, given my profession, I'm going to have to tell you I have the right to remain silent.
Very good. So nobody should hold that against
What do
you when
what
you
do
get
they
home.
say, Marty? You plead the fifth, right?
Yeah, well, after I drank it, probably.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, have a good day.
All right,
Have a
Marty,
nice
thanks
day.
a lot, buddy. All right. I always like when Marty calls.
Yeah.
Marty's a great guy.
Been loving his show too. That airs
Yeah.
on Sunday mornings right here.
Yeah, we're going to get him in here to update that pretty soon, the next
Yeah.
week or so.
That's
so
some
we can
good
get
stuff.
a fresh show on the air.
We should have him in and have him talk about and promote his show and some of the things, the stories that he brings up about the fraud and the fraudulent against the elderly. Some of the stories are really interesting.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Really,
Yeah.
really good stuff. 6:48's time. Let's head on over to the news desk once again where Bonnie is standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Martin County schools opened their doors Tuesday morning and welcomed students and teachers back into the classroom. WPTV's Ryan Hughes has the story.
Chloe Tolton walking off the school bus after finishing her first day as a freshman at Martin County High School and the first time back in a classroom since the coronavirus crisis.
It's definitely different to have the teachers not interact with you as they normally would. Like no one can get super close to you.
Chloe's mom snapping back to school photos in the backyard, then the 14-year-old boarding a bus where students now have to socially distance.
I sit on the bus with my good friend and we're not squished together. We're a good way apart.
Masks are now required on campus, and junior Stephen Okie tells us he did see changes inside the building.
At lunch, there's a limit to the amount of people per table, and every other chair is marked off so you can't sit in it.
In the hallways, they put down tape and arrows to direct you, and there were only one-way hallways.
Despite that, Stephen says the first day felt almost normal, and the conversation at the lunch table.
Nothing really about Corona or anything going on, just friends catching up.
Both students say they wanted to go back to school because virtual learning wasn't for them. It's the first step forward, and they both hope it sticks and everyone stays healthy.
I also know that I'm going to practice the procedures of staying healthy and good hygiene. So I know that I'm going to keep myself as healthy as I possibly can.
And the superintendent says that 38% of students in the district chose virtual learning to begin the school year, but they can switch to in-classroom instruction later down the road. In Martin County, Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
WPTV and United Way of Palm Beach are partnering to address the rising need for hunger relief in South Florida. WPTV's Lenny Supal has details.
This week, Palm Beach County's school lunch superheroes are expanding their reach to 130 food distribution sites.
Fresh vegetables, fresh fruit. So all the nutritious things that they usually get on a day-to-day basis, they're getting in these bags.
Christina Pomerantz has enjoyed handing out the free grab-and-go meals over the last 5 months.
We let the kids know that we're still here for them. We're very invested in their future and their learning, and this is our way of continuing that.
The effort to fight child hunger doesn't stop there. In fact, the United Way of Palm Beach County had a task force in place before the pandemic.
We can put the best teachers and the best principals and the best resources in front of them, but if they're hungry when they show up and they don't have enough food to eat, they cannot learn.
They say nearly 50,000 Palm Beach County children go hungry each day.
Many children start a life of crime at a young age because they don't have access to food. And the only place they're getting food is in the schools.
United Way partners with dozens of charities to provide food to families and support the school district.
All of those resources coming together have actually been able to help us build up the amount of food that we're able to give to families.
Donations to this week's virtual summer food drive will support United Way's ongoing mission to make sure no one in the community goes hungry.
It broke my heart last night when I was getting gas, watching a man go through the trash can at the gas station. That should not be happening in one of the richest counties in the United States. We should have no hunger in Palm Beach County.
Lenny Supal, WPTV News Channel 5.
And Florida may have to borrow money from the Labor Department to pay for supplemental and unemployment benefits.
If we can do the Department of Labor enhanced benefit through that loan, we would want to do it to give people some more relief.
Governor Ron DeSantis says more than $4 billion set aside in CARES Act money has already been allocated and can't be used for jobless benefits. Last weekend, President Trump signed an executive order paying the unemployed $300 a week, but only if states add an additional $100. Yesterday, two of the Big Five college football conferences announced that they were postponing their seasons, and that's a huge blow to the NCAA. The Big Ten voted to postpone all fall sports seasons. The Big Ten includes schools like Ohio State, Penn State, and Michigan, and later the Pac-12 followed suit. Also Nixon Sports through the end of the year. The Pac-12 schools, including the likes of UCLA, USC, Oregon. So does this mean college football in 2020 is doomed? Well, not quite. It's possible for the remaining Big Five conferences to continue. News time 6:53 and weather and traffic together are next.
$6:54 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. All brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, we're not finding any accidents to report on this Wednesday morning. Looks like our major highways are clear right here in Martin County. Also, St. Lucie County, the traffic looking good this morning. And there's your latest look at traffic. It's 75 in Port St. Lucie. Here's more on our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with some coastal rainfall possible. This afternoon, hot and humid with highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies and light southeasterly winds. Showers and thunderstorms will develop close to the coast this afternoon and then slowly move inland, and a few strong storms are possible. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go Show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
Quit spilling things in my car, in my car, my car. The floor looks like a taco bar in my car, baby. He came up to me complaining. He said, I want to go to Burger King, but we won't dine in.
This guy's a genius that does these things.
I got takeout and gave it to him.
Yeah, they're very catchy.
Now, you remember what the original song is for this one, right?
Oh, yeah. Like one of my favorites, again, by the Backstreet Boys, right?
Quit playing games with my heart.
Yeah. I think this was one of their biggest songs, too.
Yeah. It's amazing. This guy's so smart.
Quit spilling stuff in my car. Spilling things in my car.
Yeah, quit spilling things in my car.
Yeah.
Where he comes up with this stuff, I've sent emails to their agent. They have an agent and all that. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get the interview, but boy, if I do, man, I could spend like a whole hour with this guy.
Yeah.
He's so creative. We're going to step back for a moment. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next. And hour number 2 of the Get Up and Go show just around the corner.
On air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected to the Get Up and Go show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
Incoming message.
Okay, here we go.
Kind of grumpy today, dude. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
My word, what a gorgeous way to wake up.
Wake up!
I figured this might be a more gentle way to start off the day.
You're not really much of a morning person, are you?
Hey, what?
Here goes nothing.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do this.
It's showtime.
Yeah, I'm a morning person, Bonnie. I don't know about you.
I am too. And I have been all my life a morning person.
Okay.
Yeah, even summer vacation when I was younger, on my running shoes, and I always practiced for a marathon that I ran in the summertime anyway.
You're a marathon kind of girl.
I am,
Okay.
yeah, and I ran like a few marathons, more than a few.
All right, just a few.
But I got my running gear back on once again, and I at least do it maybe 2 or 3 times a week now.
Wow.
Go out and when you run, Evan, I know they say, don't run. It can beat up your knees. And, I know the idea of doing that fast walk is so much better for people. But I just, I like to run. And that feeling of when you're through running after a nice long run, you get that runner's high.
Okay.
It's just like one of those things I crave. And if I miss it, like on my Saturday morning or something, I feel like I'm at a lull.
So if Gary were to ever chase you, he'd be up the creek without a paddle, basically. You would definitely outrun him.
Gary it's incredible. He's in pretty good shape, and you would be surprised how fast he could run.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not me.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
These old bones can't run that fast no more.
You get on that bicycle every now and then,
I
don't
do.
you?
I get on my bike every now and then. I haven't ridden my bike in a while. I need to get back on the bike again and do some bicycling. Definitely so.
Oh, who does run is our good friend Tony Matson on our.
That's right. He's up in Wisconsin, right?
And he has done some half marathons. And not too long ago, he did a really hard half marathon again of
All right.
13 miles.
Okay. All right.
And,
Very good. It's
yeah.
time for birthdays, anniversaries back in the day. Where we wish people a happy birthday, a happy anniversary, or any kind of event. If you have something going on and you want to get the word out, you're welcome to give us a call, 772-8. You can always email the show at wstumorningshow@gmail.com, wstumorningshow@gmail.com. Send us an email and we'll get your birthday on. Lickety split. Bonnie, what do you have today?
Well, I don't have any happy birthday wishes, but I'm just wondering all morning just how old John Stamos is with that full head of hair that he has.
Well, Google it on your phone.
Okay. I'm afraid to Google it because I might lose my news.
Oh,
I'm having technical difficulties this
we're
morning.
having some internet issues this morning here at the Palatial Studios.
I'm going to guess, though, that he's 54 or maybe age 55, somewhere in there. I'm
Okay.
just guessing.
Okay.
But
Bex Taylor Klaus is 26. That's Audrey on MTV Scream. Cara Delevingne is 28. That's the Enchantress in Suicide Squad. Maggie Lawson is 40. That's Jules O'Hara on Lasseter's sexy partner on Psych. Casey Affleck, 45. That's Ben's more talented little brother.
a younger brother.
Yeah. Yvette Nicole Brown, 49 years old. That's Shirley Bennett on Community. Michael Ian Black, 49. That's McKinley in the Wet Hot American Summer.
Wet Hot American Summer Series.
Yes.
Now, there's something maybe we should look for. I wonder if that's appearing on Netflix.
By the
too.
name of that title, Wet Hot American Summer. I don't know.
It
Sounds like a porn,
sounds
if you
a
ask
little
me.
bit intriguing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. A little risque.
Yeah. I mean, I would just probably like to look into it,
Now starring in Wet Hot American Summer, it's Bonnie Ashley.
No, not me. I'm going to watch the people appearing in that.
Pete Sampras, tennis stud, married to Bridget Wilson. Pete Sampras, 49 years old today. Peter Krause is 55. That's Adam Braverman on Parenthood. And Nate Fisher on 6 Feet Under. Does these 3 words mean anything to you, Bonnie? Baby got back.
Baby got back. Who did that? Yeah, Justin Timberlake,
No.
right?
Nope. Guess again.
MC Hammer.
Guess again.
Run DMC.
Guess again.
I
not
think
doing too
one
good.
of the one of the guys that went out with Janet Jackson.
Nope.
Trying to think of his name.
Nope.
Who is it?
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Okay.
Yeah. He's 57 years old today.
Wow. The baby got back
Yeah.
person.
The baby got back.
57.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy that sings "I Like Big Butts."
Yeah.
And I cannot lie.
Oh, I got him confused with Justin Timberlake because bringing
tell you that
sexy
much.
back.
Yeah,
Bringing
bringing
sexy back.
There you go.
Yep.
Bruce Greenwood, 64 years old today. That's Christopher Pike in Star Trek Reboot. Sam Jones, 66. That's the star of the 1980s trashy yet classic Flash Gordon movie.
Oh.
Kid Creole, 70 years old today. That's Kid Creole and the Coconuts. Remember that group? Stool Pigeon.
I remember a little bit about Kid Creole. Coconuts that's with them. I don't remember that.
When you think
That's
of
not
somebody
familiar.
that's freakishly very tan,
Oh.
freakishly very tan, who do you think of?
Freakishly tan?
Yes.
Let me see. Maybe
He's 81 years old today. Any idea?
the guy that played, did he play like Dracula at one time?
I'm
I
not sure, but
think?
his name is George Hamilton.
Yes, and I think he did play Dracula at one time, if I'm not
Zorro,
mistaken.
the Gay Blade, and Love at First Bite.
Mhm.
Yes.
He is very tan.
Yep.
Yes, indeed.
Celebrating birthdays in the heavens, country legends Porter Wagner and Buck Owens.
Buck Owens, remember Buck Owens and the
Owens.
Buckaroos?
Yep. Rowan and
From-
Martin's not Rowan and Martin's laughing.
Hee
Hee-haw.
Hee-haw, yeah.
Hee-haw.
Yep.
Cecil DeMille from the Ten Commandments, celebrating a birthday in the heavens. Today is International Youth Day. International Youth Day today, Bonnie.
Mhm.
We have 23 days until the Labor Day weekend. And back in the day, 54 years ago in 1966, the Beatles began their last North American tour together before the show at the International Amphitheater in Chicago. John Lennon apologized for saying the Beatles were more popular than Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was kind of like big and bold to, be coming out and saying.
Yeah, that takes a big set of horns to say something like that.
But they were the Beatles,
Yeah.
but bigger than Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't think there's anybody bigger than Jesus, if you ask me.
And I don't believe
Yeah.
so, Evan.
Yeah.
No,
No.
not in my spirit.
Not in my spirit either.
Yeah.
He's the biggest there is out there.
Yes.
43 years ago in 1977, the Space Shuttle Enterprise passed its first solo test flight by taking off from atop a Boeing 747, separating, then touching down in California's Mojave Desert.
Hmm. It's fascinating, when we talk with Randy Siegel and what space is doing now with those
Mhm.
completely clean liftoffs, and then the way they come back and their relaunch and coming back down.
26 years ago today, in 1994, The Next Karate Kid was released, starring Hilary Swank as Julie Sand.
Yeah, she I think she was under Mr. Miyagi too in
Yep.
that one.
Yep.
And we've been getting into Kubla Kai lately.
Kubla Kai.
Kubla Kai is like the remake that is actually produced by Will Smith and Ralph Macchio, who played the Karate Kid. So they have the young man that Ralph Macchio was in with in the first Karate Kid.
I think of
when they-
Ralph Macchio and I think of Scott Baio for some reason.
I know. Yeah, they look same time era, looked very similar. They were both on Teen Beat magazine and all that. But they have the kid that he fought in the Karate Kid and Kubla Kai too, running Kubla Kai, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed boy with the headband that actually does karate in real life. And we started watching these half-hour episodes of Kubla Kai, and for those wondering about it, if it's anything good after the success of Karate Kid, if you were a fan, I say yes to the episodes.
Okay.
Because we actually purchased them.
All right. Want to say good morning to Patty. She's watching us on our Facebook page. 22 years ago today, in 1998, Swiss banks agreed to pay $1.25 billion to Holocaust survivors for money stolen from their accounts by the Nazis.
Mhm.
13 years ago today, this guy passed away in 2007. I had the honor of interviewing him on my syndicated radio show. The one and only Merv Griffin passed away from prostate cancer at the tender young age of 82 years old.
Oh, you were able to interview Merv Griffin, huh?
Yes.
That's like really
that was
cool.
a very hard interview to secure and achieve.
Mm-hmm. Remember those talk shows back in the day, like the TV talk shows? I think there was Michael Douglas,
Right?
and Dinah Shore. I remember
how about Sally Jesse Raphael?
Yeah.
I was on that show.
Yeah, I know. Enlighten people about why you were on there, Evan. I find that so fascinating and funny all at once.
I've told the story, but if
know.
you insist.
But because we had our officer Brian Bazio in with us in studio, when we were telling him that, he was just like cracking up out loud, and then he said he had to go look for it on YouTube.
Yeah,
I wish I could find an old episode of it too.
No, you're not going to. But I'll have to dig it up. It's on a VHS at my house. I'm gonna have to find it. But I was on that show with my ex-wife.
Not Rachel, not the
Rachel.
wife you're with right now.
I
Want to make that clear.
I'm not going to say my ex-wife's name, but I was on the show with her, and they were looking for couples to go on the show of wives that are angry at their husbands because they flirt too much in the workplace. Now, being a DJ, and I was a club DJ back in the day, you talk to girls and you just, and my ex-wife thought I was flirting. So I saw the topic on TV, and this is great. It's a free trip to LA, all expenses paid. Why not? Okay.
Sure.
So we took it and we did the show, and then the twins were received in California thanks to the show. And that's how the twins were brought into this world, because of the show. So that was the topic.
Sally Jesse and her beautiful glasses for the twins.
Yeah.
Oh my
gosh. We can thank her for that.
Those big rosy glasses.
Yeah. So needless to say, it was myself and my ex, and there were two other couples. And I used to take my kids to the mall by myself all the time. I was a very independent parent. And at Easter time, I went and took the kids to visit the Easter Bunny, and I found out the Easter Bunny was a female inside.
So I was a little bitty girl in that Easter Bunny outfit.
Yeah, I was flirting with the Easter Bunny, and she did not take, to that too well.
Now, how did you find out? How do you all find out that the Easter Bunny was a girl hiding behind that? They're not supposed to reveal that, are they?
But somebody asked me if I went and lifted up its tail, and I said, no, I didn't do that.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So your wife at the time got upset about that. And so did a big argument ensue during the Sally Jesse Raphael show? Did you all start screaming at one another?
It got a little intense.
Intense? Yeah.
Yeah, it got a little intense. I'll say that much. It was definitely intense, but it was fun. We had a good time. Took good care of us. We flew in the day before, did the show, and then flew out the next day. So it was, quick in and out. Boom, boom.
So was Sally Jesse's intent to solve your problem? Did she solve anything there?
No, it's like the Jerry Springer show. You go on and, and instead of them yelling Jerry, they're yelling Sally, Sally, Sally.
I mean, like if you go on Dr. Phil now, he can send you to a relief center and that sort of thing. He's got all those connections where we're going to send you out to this ranch and you can ride horses.
Exactly.
And just relieve your tension and get it out of your system.
Exactly.
She didn't offer anything like that.
No, not at all.
Anywhere you could go for marriage counseling at the time or
just go back to your hotel room and make up and do whatever you're going to do. And that's what her and I did. And that's how the twins were brought into this world, because of going to California.
And now it almost sounds to me that Sally Jesse didn't even care. But did you send her like a thank you note when the twins were born?
No.
And say, Sally, thank you because of you?
No. No, thank you. No. No.
Okay.
No, thank you. No.
Is it something that you would do again if you got the opportunity?
To go on the show?
To go on maybe any kind of those talk shows?
Oh, I would go on a talk show in a heartbeat.
You would?
Listen, let me tell you something. I have seen, I can't do Maury Povich because I am the father to all of my kids.
Yeah.
So, there's Steve Wilkos, there's Jerry Springer. Could Rachel and I go on these shows and make
Jerry
some money?
Springer, you would?
Oh yeah,
oh, wow.
I would do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. Are you kidding? I would do a Jerry Springer show in a heartbeat if Rachel would do it, and we would, if we could be able to just act everything out. you know, and the whole world would see us. I think that would be hilarious, you know, to go make and they pay pretty good to get people to come on the show.
Plus, you get a free overnight hotel stay, dinner, I'm sure, and all of those lovely perks.
Oh yeah, they take good care of you.
But then
I would do Jerry. I would do Steve Wilkos' show.
Yeah.
I would do those shows in a heartbeat. But see, I'm a showman though.
Yeah.
I like to put up. I can put the act on. So that's just me.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So if you ever see me start going to town or whatever, or you know, I could be, you know, putting on a facade. So don't get too worried.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
7:22. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk. Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Presumptive Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden has a running mate, announcing the selection of California Senator Kamala Harris as his running mate.
Well, I think it's probably a strong pick for Biden and the Democrats. I think she could handle the job as vice president, and more importantly, if it came to it, I think she could handle the job as president.
Biden's shortlist had also included Orlando Congresswoman Val Demings. Stewart police are trying to locate and identify a vehicle they say caused a fatal traffic accident in Stewart. The incident happened on July 31st at around 10:45 p.m. on US 1 between Lockhart and Indian River Streets. Police said a white late model four-door Chevy Silverado was traveling southbound on US 1 when one of the mattresses being hauled fell into the roadway, causing the fatal crash. Police are asking anyone with a similar vehicle who would have been hauling mattresses or anyone with information on this case to please contact Detective Sudoff at email at asudhoff@ci.stewart.fl.us or simply call 772-220-3908. And the projectors are rolling at just one movie theater right here on the Treasure Coast. The Sable Palms Luxury 6 Cinemas in Fort Pierce is showing a mix of recent releases, such as the Alison Brie horror film, The Rental, and older blockbusters such as Jurassic Park and Ghostbusters. The staff is wearing masks and taking ticket holders' temperatures. Anyone with a fever of 100.2 or more will not be permitted inside. Capacity for the film is reduced to 50%. Sable Palms is part of the Touchstar cinema chain with 4 theaters in Florida and Alabama. Corporate staff could not be reached for more information. So there you go. One movie theater open on the Treasure Coast if you want to go, and that is our Sable Palm in Fort Pierce. And now we'll look at sports. College football players took to Twitter this week to lobby the NCAA to save their season. Now high school players in Florida are taking the same approach. Late Monday, an online petition was created that implores the Florida High School Athletic Association to allow sports to be played as planned this fall. The petition, titled "Let Them Play in Florida," is on the website change.org and received more than 2,000 signatures in a little more than 5 hours towards its goal of 7,500. Our news time, it's 7:25, and weather and traffic together are next.
7:26 the time right now. The Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together. It's all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
Well, Evan, we're not finding any accidents to report for our major highways. They're looking good, including our Turnpike, I-95, US 1 looking good in both Martin and St. Lucie County this morning. And there's your latest look at traffic. In Stewart, we have 78. Here's more on our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with some coastal rainfall possible. This afternoon, hot and humid with highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies and light southeasterly winds. Showers and thunderstorms will develop close to the coast this afternoon and then slowly move inland, and a few strong storms are possible. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
You're listening to the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie on Martin County's Heritage Station, AM 1450 WSTU. Now let's get back to the program with Evan and Bonnie.
Move over, Dayquil. Now there's something for 2020. It's YearQuil. Vicks Van Winkle Pharmaceuticals introduces the first sleep aid that knocks you out for months at a time. You'll hibernate through the rest of the year and wake up in 2021, ready to face whatever the hell is happening. But at least you won't have to be awake and deal with the coronavirus, the election, or anything else during this terrible time. YearQuil. And coming soon, DecadeQuil, so you can snooze and hopefully wake up in 10 years and get back to normal.
7:30 right now, the Get Up and Go show, and it's time for one of our favorite segments. It's called Stupid News.
And now it's time for Stupid News,
It's so stupid and awesome.
where we ask the important questions.
Are some people too stupid to live?
Why are people so stupid?
Are you effing stupid?
You know, Bonnie, I scour the globe every single night around 5 o'clock, and I look over about 9 different websites, and I came up with some good stuff for today. A 13-year-old boy who crashed into 5 people Tuesday night while driving on his grandmother's lap said his grandmother was giving him driving lessons at the time. The little boy says, "I didn't want to, but I ain't had no choice. So she told me to sit on her lap, and I did. 13-year-old little Joseph said, quote, his grandmother, Ernestine Holloman, 58, is going to face charges in connection with the crash, including DUI, child endangerment.
13-year-old little Joseph. That sounds like a big boy to be sitting on grandma's lap.
Yeah, little Joey.
While she's driving.
Yeah, come here, little boy.
That just doesn't
Come sit on my lap.
sound right, does it?
Doesn't sound right.
So did they say where they were driving? Like maybe doing it down a deserted dirt road or something
If
like
they're
that?
doing it down a deserted road, I don't want to know about that one. A Florida man was jailed yesterday on a felony Slurpee battery charge. A felony Slurpee battery charge, Bonnie. Investigators allege that Brian Duffy, 40 years old, doused a 7-Eleven employee with the frozen treat. According to the arrest affidavit, a surveillance video recorded Duffy backhanding the cup full of Slurpee drink out of the female victim's hand. The Slurpee flew onto the victim's person.
Right.
While Duffy left 7-Eleven before police responded, the victim pointed the defendant out to law enforcement. Apparently, after he returned to the convenience store, Duffy was then arrested.
You know, it would be fun putting those Slurpees in some water balloons and doing that for a birthday party out in the backyard.
Yeah, how about freezing the Slurpees and then using them in the water balloons?
Ouch!
Yeah, that would hurt.
Be stinging a little bit.
Yeah, we have a phone call right now. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this?
Ba-ba-ba-boo. Good morning.
Oh, we know who this is. It's Fredo.
Fredo, good morning.
Ba-ba-ba-boo. What's happening, Fredo?
Ba-ba-ba-boo.
How you doing, buddy?
Not much. What those people sound like they need is Fredo's mobile party service. Yeah, man, that's what's going on.
Fredo's mobile party service.
Do you have like a huge water slide in that party service? Do you have some good event things going on, Fredo?
Absolutely. I got all sorts of inflatables, indoor and outdoor.
I'm sure you do. You've got your share of inflatables.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So what's on the slate for today, Fredo?
Actually, it means the band can be practicing some new songs today.
Okay.
And then I got to take the mobile rub out today. I got some appointments this afternoon.
You got to rub people the right way.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to do that. And then I'm going to be picking up Big Kitty today.
What?
Yeah, man.
Are you bringing Big Kitty home?
I'm going to be bringing Big Kitty home. I had a talk with Big Kitty yesterday, and Big Kitty said that he was willing to come over. And then I found out Big Kitty's not a he. He's a she.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wow.
The cat's a he, she?
It's a he. It's a she.
Wait a minute. So it's a he, she.
Well, we thought it was a he, but now it's a she. We found out. I turned it over. It's a she.
Big Kitty be like fooling us the whole while
So
here.
wait a minute. So he is not a he is a she. So he's a she. So it's a he, she.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big Kitty.
If you say so, yeah.
Every time Big Kitty called her, I always thought it had a male personality. And from all this time to learn that it's a female cat now.
So wait a minute. So you flipped the cat over because Curious got the best of you, and you found out that he was missing parts.
I guess you could say that, yeah.
So
that's happened to me a few times, by the way, and all sorts of other things. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So Big Kitty's a girl.
That's why I think Big Kitty was all attracted to Fredo. You know, because yeah, man. Because
wow.
What, did you wake up one morning, Fredo, only to find you were missing your eyebrows or something? What do you mean by missing parts?
That was in 1946. When I was with Louis Armstrong one time, I woke up and they drew things on my face and my eyebrows were missing. But that's a whole nother story.
You must have looked really funny.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't wait to hear from Big Kitty because I need to have a conversation with Big Kitty because Big Kitty pulled the paw over our eyes.
Yeah.
No pun intended there. Because Big Kitty told us that Big Kitty was a boy.
Maybe Big Kitty was telling you that to throw you off so no one go looking for her.
Oh.
So then I found her. Bentley told me where the fact is behind the Cumberland Farms over there. And I've been behind that Cumberland Farms a few times, but that's a whole nother story. And anyway, so, a picture of Fuzzy Neville, I can get anybody to do anything. So, go over there and I found her. She's in the box. She had a little radio, a little cell phone. and a little computer, and that was it. I was like, "You coming home with me, baby?"
You better make sure that you're not taking
Wow.
Big Kitty away from little kitties, of her little kittens that could be hanging around.
There
How-
were no kittens, no
Are you
little baby kittens. No
So
way.
you are going to now raise Big Kitty.
Yeah, man, she's already full grown.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, man.
Wow. So
Yeah.
Big Kitty's
Yeah.
going to live with Fredo, and Fredo has the Shy Guys living in his place because Fredo has a palatial palace that has 5
Wow.
bedrooms, and
Yeah.
each of the Shy Guys get their own room. So where are you going to put Big Kitty at?
Well, Big Kitty be sleeping in the bed with me because she knows I like to pet the kitty. So, I just pet the kitty as much as I can, and she sleeps with me.
Okay. Well, on that note, we'll let you go back to petting the kitty, and we will speak to you soon.
Wow.
All right. We'll talk to you later. That's Fredo from the Shy Guys.
Oh, it's good that Big Kitty's going to have a
Wow.
home finally.
Yeah.
I felt sorry the last time we talked to Big Kitty, Evan, and I thought I heard his feelings.
Okay.
Her feelings
Yeah.
now, not
Or its feelings. He is a she, so it's a he, she.
wow.
Anyway, let's get back to stupid news. A naked sunbather was seen chasing wild boar through a park after it stole his laptop bag. Amusing photographs from Germany show the man running after the animal to try and claim the plastic bag back. But the cheeky boar and its 2 piglets appear to be too quick for the sunbather, who can't keep up with their speedy little trotters. As the incident unfolds, groups of friends and family sat on the grass, watch on and laugh, and heads are seen turning in surprise and amusement in the hilarious photographs.
He probably didn't have any shoes on running to get that little piggy.
Yeah, exactly. We have another phone call right now. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're on the air with Evan and Bonnie. Who's this?
Well,
Ah,
Big
okay.
Kitty.
Big Kitty.
well,
We need to have a conversation.
well.
Yeah, we need to have a conversation. Bonnie is a little upset with you.
Well, no, actually, I'm happy that you found a home, Big Kitty. Are you happy about it?
Well,
Are you happy that you found a home with Fredo?
well,
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Would you rather have found a home with Bentley?
well.
No,
No.
but the question is, all along you've told us you're a boy when Fredo just informed us that he flipped you over and you're missing a few parts.
I think Evan was more upset about that than I was.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You're missing a few parts, so you're actually a girl.
Well,
Yeah.
So you've been lying to us
You've been
all
lying
this
to us,
time,
huh?
Big Kitty.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know about this.
Big Kitty, do you have little kittens outside there running around? Are
Yeah. Do you have little kitties running around?
well.
No. Okay.
okay?
So you've never had kittens before. Why am I having a conversation with a cat about this? Why? Oh my gosh.
Big Kitty, are you pregnant right now?
Well,
No.
Are you sure?
Are you sure you're not lying?
well,
You're not lying just to get to Fredo's?
well.
Could you imagine, like, she gets to Fredo's and then there are more kittens running
Right.
around?
That'd be a lot of kitty.
I know.
Man,
Well.
way too much kitty.
Wow.
Wow.
You'd have to have
Okay.
like a lot of litter boxes.
Yeah, and then some.
Yeah.
A lot of kibbles.
A lot of catnip ready and
Yeah.
little kitty toys to play with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Big Kitty's pregnant, if you ask me. I'm making a prediction.
Yeah.
I think Big Kitty is pregnant. I think we need to have Fredo take Big Kitty for a pregnancy test.
Yeah. Because Big Kitty, you already lied to us about your gender.
Yeah, exactly.
I still can't believe we're having a conversation with a cat.
I know. Yeah. All right, Big Kitty. We got to run. We got stuff to do. Thank you very much for calling. All right. Well, there's Big Kitty. All right.
Big
Somebody
Kitty
help me.
be like a sponsor of our show.
I don't know. God only knows who's going to call next. If you're planning on practicing for your adult naked basketball rec league at your nearest public park, you might want to think again, Bonnie.
There's naked basketball.
Yes.
Never
There's a
heard of
naked
this.
basketball rec league.
Where is this?
Well, hold on.
New York City or
to the surprise of literally no one except this one guy, it's illegal to droop and hoop. Okay. A Florida man.
What if he can't help
arrested-
that drooping?
Well, what can I say? You got saggy basketballs.
Yeah.
A Florida man arrested for playing basketball naked learned this lesson the hard way when he was approached by police while free balling. He was free balling in Longwood, Florida. Okay, this happened in Longwood, Florida. Police received a call at around 7:30 at night at the Candyland Park and responded accordingly. When officers from the Longwood Police Department arrived, they found a gentleman by the name of Jordan Anderson, 29, playing basketball butt naked with too many balls out.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just reading this stuff, folks.
Yeah.
When asked why he was doing this, he politely said he was improving his, quote, ballin' skills.
So he had, he was out there, but he had plenty of balls to play with.
You said it, not me.
I mean, well,
yes, he had plenty of balls to play with.
Well, you got to play. If you're playing basketball, you got to have a bigger supply to make sure your balls don't go flat.
You had to go there, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, well, the last time I almost purchased a basketball was at that store called Five Below.
Yeah.
Five Below. Did you ever go there?
I've never purchased balls from Five Below.
They sell a basketball there.
Do they?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was out in the St. Lucie West location. They had basketballs for sale.
Okay.
But Five Below, and I think you could purchase your basketball for $5.
Okay.
Which was pretty cool.
Hopefully it stays inflated.
Yeah, you don't want to.
Is your computer working now, by the way?
It is. Thank you.
Okay.
And
All
have
right.
you been having
You
problems?
feel better now?
Oh, so much better because
Right?
I think in our upcoming sportscast, we are going to have some Major League Baseball scores.
I hope so, because I'm jonesing for those. Man, I'm like, where's my baseball scores, Bonnie? You're killing me.
Right? I mean,
I need to know.
I got the NBA scores because I was able to get them on my internet at home, and I've
Mhm.
been writing the NBA ones down first.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do a little news.
Okay.
7:44. It's news time. Let's go to the news desk once again. Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. Tropical Depression 11 formed Tuesday afternoon in the Atlantic Ocean, according to the National Hurricane Center. WPTV's chief meteorologist Steve Weigel tells us more.
It looks like this one may develop into a tropical storm, a named storm, a little earlier than expected, likely by this time tomorrow. It's about 2,500 miles away. And at this point, not expected to have any impact on South Florida's weather, and the computer model tracks keeping it offshore. But it is trying to get better organized, and it is expected by this time tomorrow to be a tropical storm Josephine and track just to the north of the Leeward Islands on Saturday and Sunday. In fact, by Sunday late in the day, it's north of Puerto Rico and starting to make that turn east of the Bahamas. More likely, that's where the long-range computer models are suggesting. GFS and the Euro both agreeing on that as a weak tropical storm at that point, too. The computer model tracks, most of them in pretty good agreement, keeping it well north of Puerto Rico. A couple of outliers here, likely seeing that the Bermuda High is a little bit stronger. And these ones here, consensus, keeping it a little farther north and away from South Florida.
Martin County schools opened their doors Tuesday morning and welcomed students and teachers back into the classroom. WPTV's Ryan Hughes has the story.
Chloe Tolton walking off the school bus after finishing her first day as a freshman at Martin County High School and the first time back in a classroom since the coronavirus crisis.
It's definitely different to have the teachers not interact with you as they normally would. No one can get super close to you.
Chloe's mom snapping back to school photos in the backyard, then the 14-year-old boarding a bus where students now have to socially distance.
I sit on the bus with my good friend, and we're not squished together. We're a good way apart.
Masks are now required on campus, and junior Stephen Okie tells us he did see changes inside the building.
At lunch, there's a limit to the amount of people per table, and every other chair is marked off so you can't sit in it.
In the hallways, they put down tape and arrows to direct you, and there were only one-way hallways.
Despite that, Stephen says the first day felt almost normal. And the conversation at the lunch table,
nothing really about Corona or anything going on, just friends catching up.
Both students say they wanted to go back to school because virtual learning wasn't for them. It's the first step forward, and they both hope it sticks and everyone stays healthy.
I also know that I'm going to practice like the procedures of staying healthy and good hygiene. So I know that I'm going to keep myself as healthy as I possibly can.
And the superintendent says that 38% of students in the district chose virtual learning to begin the school year, but they can switch to in-classroom instruction later down the road. In Martin County, Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
And Florida is coming off its deadliest day yet in the coronavirus pandemic.
The state announced 276 more resident deaths from COVID-19, surpassing the previous single-day high of 253 on July 30th. Another non-Florida death was also announced, bringing the combined total to more than 8,600 virus-related fatalities since the state began tracking the pandemic. The health department also reporting nearly 6,000 new cases of the virus. I'm Rick Hoschel.
And lastly, Indian River State College's main campus is getting a new name, Edwin R. Massey Campus. Indian River State College and our region as a whole have been forever enriched as a result of Dr. Ed Massey's bold vision, transformational leadership, and unwavering commitment to helping tens of thousands of students succeed in their educational pursuits, IRSC Board Chair Jose Conrado said in a news release. In those Major League Baseball scores from yesterday, the Miami Marlins take a loss. They lost by a hair to Toronto, 5-4. Cincinnati Reds over Kansas City Royals, 6-5 yesterday. The Yankees upset the Atlanta Braves by a score of 9-6. The Phillies, they take a loss yesterday to Baltimore. That score was 10-9. And it was 7-1 Chicago Cubs beating the Cleveland Indians. And a couple of other scores, we have the Tigers losing to Chicago White Sox 8-4, Tampa Bay Rays 8-2 over the Boston Red Sox. And yes, the Mets, they just lost by a hair too yesterday to the Washington Nationals. That score was 2-1. Our news time is 7:48, and weather and traffic together are next.
$7:50 the time on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and not St. Lucie Jewelry, Code Red Roofers. There we go.
That's right.
That's right.
Code Red Roofers.
Code Red Roofers.
And, we've been having a nice morning, too. As you go out on the roads throughout Martin County, keep in mind they're back to school the second day back. So you're going to see the school buses, this morning and a little bit later on this afternoon. So drive slowly and safely. Look for kids, but expect a nice ride. Right now, no traffic accidents. Your latest look at traffic. And we have 75. It's a partly cloudy sky in Port St. Lucie. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with some coastal rainfall possible. This afternoon, hot and humid with highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies and light southeasterly winds. Showers and thunderstorms will develop close to the coast this afternoon and then slowly move inland, and a few strong storms are possible. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
Yeah, you say you want some ice cream in the drive-thru line, but you spill it all over the seat. And tomorrow all that cream would rot and smell so bad from the 100-degree heat. Yeah, I don't care who you are, if you're my son, don't care what you did, you're not getting ice cream. Who you are, how nice to be, you will wreck my car, you're not getting ice cream, baby.
Yeah, I don't know ice cream in my car. How about you, Bonnie?
No, nothing is going in my new vehicle, which I just purchased a week ago now, Tuesday.
Oh, that's right.
Last week.
It's your anniversary. You had your 1 week anniversary with your vehicle.
Yeah, Evan, question for you. When
Yeah.
you do get a new vehicle, how long does that last for you? How long until that hysteria kind of runs out and then, well, you just don't care if you have any ice cream or anything that's going to drop in your car and make droplets?
I don't know. I've had my 2020 Explorer now for a couple of months, and I'm still real picky about stuff that comes in my car.
Yeah.
Unlike somebody else that I know who just takes I don't want to start. Don't get me started.
Don't get started.
Don't get me started. I don't want to throw somebody under the bus.
Oh, you know what's really funny? Bin Deals is
Here we go. She's listening, by the way.
Okay, so Rachel, get a kick out of this. When I did go to Bin Deals, so I found these big, nice coverings that I thought they were to cover and protect our furniture, right? So I opened these up, and then I lay it on my furniture, and it wasn't small enough to cover the whole thing.
Right.
And I said, Gary, this is silly. This is just silly. And it's like, okay, so maybe not. So I sufficed. I said maybe
Okay.
they're not going to cover the furniture, but they will cover my new car seats.
Right. Now you went on
which they did.
$3. You went on $3 day.
Yeah,
right?
that was
Okay. And your first words were when you came into the studio, you said, I went to Bin Deals yesterday and there was a lot of. That's all I'm gonna say. You said the slang word for crap.
Yeah.
Okay. And I looked at you like, wow, okay. You got up on the wrong side of the bed.
But the funny thing is, I'm going to go back. Yes, I'm going to
See,
go
you're
back.
hooked.
Yeah, I
See,
am.
you got hooked.
You got to go.
You got hooked. It's an addiction.
It's
like
addicting
a drug.
too as you're going from bin to bin, Evan.
Right.
You look through one bin and then you get so excited to see what's
It's a treasure hunt.
going to be in another bin.
Right. You're dumpster diving is what you're doing.
It's fun.
It's a treasure hunt. And every treasure you get, you pay either $3, $1, or $5.
$5. And I guess
Right.
Rachel told us that on the $5 days, there are better and maybe newer items.
Let me tell you, you could possibly get a MacBook, some AirPods, and
Wow.
just all sorts of stuff.
You never know what you'll find, right?
Mhm.
Maybe a new cutlery set.
One man's
or-
trash is another woman's treasure,
That's right.
right?
That's
Did I say that right? Okay.
Maybe I'll go there and look for something for John. John's birthday is coming up on Saturday.
It Bin
And-
Deals? Okay. Interesting.
I mean, you never know what you find.
You might find a mannequin head. Who knows?
He has like 5 or 6 cats, Evan. So every
Okay.
birthday, I bring him some cat food and treats for the
Okay.
cats.
Okay. You got to get John something, though.
I know.
Maybe you'll find something at Bin Deals. If you
Something.
did you dig really deep in the bins? Did you dig deep or you didn't go down that far?
Probably find a man's wallet down there or
Yeah,
something
anything's
good.
possible.
Some men's cologne or
or men's underwear. Who knows?
underwear, maybe some Brute.
You know?
Do you wear Brute?
Oh, Brute. That's so old. That's so 80s.
Isn't there like a new Brute out now? Didn't they make it like a newness for men?
I don't know, but we have a call right now.
Not Dad's
Just
Brute, but
very
your
quickly
Brute.
because we're getting ready to go to news. Hi, you're on the air. Who's this?
Don't knock it just because you don't like going through bins.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah.
You know, I would love to keep you on and carry the conversation on, but we have to go to the news, honey. So, yeah, you have to have a lot of patience to do Bin Deals. I
Yeah.
will say that much.
But
You
Rachel,
have
I'm
to.
I'm right there with you, hun.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back, and I'm
All
I'm
right.
excited to go back.
All right, I got to cut you guys off. We're WSTU Stewart. We're Martin County's Heritage Station. The news is coming up next, and then Martin County Administrator Taryn Krisdick going to be right here.
On the air, online, covering the Treasure Coast. Get connected with the Get Up and Go Show. And now here's your host, Evan and Bonnie.
8:07 on the Get Up and Go Show, and I'm in awe right now, Bonnie. I mean, I'm literally
Kind of like a knock knock on our door.
I was getting a little nervous because my phone wasn't ringing, and I was like, "Wow, is Taryn going to be here?"
Yes.
And literally, she's here
She
in
showed up
studio.
like our knight in shining armor.
Yes.
We're wondering, oh no, what are we
Wow.
going to do without Taryn?
Good morning, welcome.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
This is like your second time in 7 months I've been here with Bonnie.
Yes.
Wow.
I threatened you that I would do that.
No, that's not a threat. Believe me, you can threaten me anytime. I love having you here as much as you want.
And she showed up in her mask, wearing
I
mask
know.
and all. And
yeah, she walked in her mask. We're a mask-free zone in here because we all know each other. And as you see, we practice social distancing. Bonnie is over that way. You're over here. So we have plenty of distance around all of us. And wow, it's just so good to see you.
it is.
It's nice
I
to be
really
seen.
am. I'm really happy you're here. I'm just like giddy. I am. I'm like a little kid in a candy store right now. I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
I got goosebumps.
We didn't think we would see you for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been telling us you would show up, but we just didn't expect it to be today.
I mean, what a great surprise. I mean, it's just like made my day.
Well, thank you very much for that.
I'm
I
so glad
appreciate
you're
it.
here. I'm so glad you're here. So yesterday, well, let's first off, let's talk. God, there's so many things that I want to talk about with you. I know that the mask mandate expired in Martin County, but now I heard there's some rumblings about they're going to have some meetings about possibly reinstating it, but with some more very specific guidelines.
Well,
am I right about that, or tell me about that?
essentially where the discussion went yesterday is, well, it did expire, like you said,
Mhm.
on Saturday. And then
Okay.
on Sunday, we initiated what was an emergency order, which strongly recommended the masks. And it had the same language essentially as the initial ordinance, but
Okay.
it did not have the criminal penalty attached to it.
Okay.
With the strongly encouraging rather than mandating. So the board debated a little bit about the masks, and what they asked us to do was to come back in 2 weeks, which will be the 25th of August,
Okay.
and bring them, go ahead and advertise and get all the public notices that we need to do in order so that on the 25th they could discuss and decide if they wanted to approve an ordinance to, again, mandate with the not criminal penalties, but fines. And it has the same language as what we had for the past 30 days that we had initiated as an emergency ordinance.
Okay.
So, we're watching our numbers. The commissioners also wanted us to determine what kind of possible metrics or benchmarks we could be looking at as we move forward. Are our numbers getting better? Yes, they are. Is the hospital, has the amount of occupancy at the hospital has remained stable? And how much of that is COVID? And how much of that is non-COVID? Those are the kinds of numbers that I look at, because I think as long as there's capacity at the hospitals,
Mhm.
then, we can effectively manage this as we move forward. But, that's the real time data. The numbers that we get from the health department obviously are difficult when you start looking at them, because they can lag 3, 4, 5, maybe sometimes 7 days
Right.
or greater. And so when you're looking at, where do we stand as a county on a daily basis, the numbers that I look at is the hospital, because the hospital is required to report data twice a day to the state, and then that data becomes available to us immediately. And so that's when we put together our little snapshot that we're doing based on the information that we can get from the state.
All right. So, this morning when I got on the air this morning, and I kind of went on a little bit of a rant about the whole mask thing, and Bonnie, unfortunately, she fell to my wrath this morning about when I went on my rant about people wearing a mask and how certain individuals, they think they're all, high and mighty, and they don't need to wear a mask. Now, I am all for somebody that has a medical condition that can't wear one. I get that. I totally understand that. But if you're going to, make a political statement or just some kind of like, well, it's violating my constitutional right and this and that, but you have to put all that stuff to the side when you're talking about somebody's health.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't be on your high and mighty horse when it comes to things like that. That's just my opinion.
Or maybe, Evan, too, like you could just kind of like, even if you don't totally agree or like wearing a mask, maybe you could take a step back a little bit and say, okay, if we do have these COVID-19 numbers and we haven't all tried to wear these masks before, maybe let's try something that could work and make it better.
Exactly.
And just get that level of, about going forward.
Now, what you were saying, Taryn, about there's not going to be any criminal or jail time for not wearing a mask, but there will be fines.
The
Correct?
original ordinance that we had structured did have fines for repeated offenders, if you will. But the sheriff has been very clear. He would prefer to educate and encourage individuals to comply rather than, obviously taking the strong arm approach. And we appreciate that.
He doesn't want to throw people in jail. He doesn't want to write tickets because, his deputies have better things to do than to walk downtown and say, hey, you put it on or I'm going to write you a ticket, or, hey, you're going to jail.
Correct.
There's much more worse things that are going on in today's society than just policing masks.
Correct.
In my humble opinion.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think that if we're able to point folks in the right direction for the data, so if they can see that, like you were saying, if we can just take an effort as a community, but unfortunately, this whole situation has just separated our community rather than bringing them together.
And it should be
It's
being
really
brought
sad.
together. I have a question for you both. Have you done this? Because I have done this. I think I just did it like the other day, where you just forget, you have that mask in the vehicle, but you just forget to put it on. And then you go inside the business and you're like, oh yeah, the mask.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just like a force of habit where you're just not used to putting it on, or you're used to going in your local place, and then you all of a sudden find out you forgot.
Yep.
You just forgot it back.
Yeah,
in the
I
truck.
just keep a couple in my purse, so
There's
that
a good idea.
Yeah, when that happens, and I've
Yeah.
got something I can rely on.
Yeah, I've learned to keep one here in studio next to me. I've learned to keep one in my center console, and then I keep one on my desk at home. So this way, wherever I go, I always have one at my disposal should I need one for any type of, occasion. There's been a couple of times where I've gotten out of my vehicle and I've started to like walk into Home Depot or Walmart, and I'll take 2 steps. I'm like, oh, wait, got to turn around, got to go get my mask.
Yeah.
Because some places, when we went to lunch yesterday, it was interesting because they were doing the temperature checks. That's the first establishment that I've been in that's done that. But they also had masks sitting there available for individuals should you have, forgotten to
I
have
think that's
one.
great. I think that's excellent.
And we have them at our buildings.
Uh-huh.
We're providing masks or face shields if individuals
Mhm.
can't wear the masks.
Mhm.
And yesterday I had a dialogue with an individual who was upset that we were requiring the masks in our libraries, and I explained to the individual, it's to help our staff as well as the patrons of the
Mhm.
library.
Mhm.
And so we are requiring, if you're in a public building, one of
Yeah.
ours, that you have a mask. And if you have even if you have a medical condition, then we can give you the shield so that you don't have to have that face covering across your face.
Yeah, a shield is better than nothing at all.
Correct.
At least
Yeah.
the shield, it covers 180-degree circumference.
Mhm.
It doesn't, things can get in from the side, but you're still somewhat protected instead of not being protected at all.
Correct. And so that's why we're making those available. Just trying again to make sure our staff is comfortable on serving the public. Recognizing that individuals, we don't know what their medical history is,
Right.
obviously, because they're coming to us from the outside. So
Mhm.
we're asking folks, and again, it's sad that as a community, as you were saying, Evan, that we can't come together on this.
Yeah.
That we have to be so divided.
We had it in our news this morning too. There's like a local theater that's finally reopening, and for me to go there or like to take my stepson there, it just makes me feel a lot better to know, that masks are required and they're even taking temperature checks.
Yeah.
They're not going to be allowing sick people with fevers in there. So I feel entirely better in that 50% capacity. Just some rules we should follow, and anything to just shorten up this COVID.
Yep, we have to start somewhere.
For the most part, a lot of the businesses too. And when I talked to Joe Catcherbone from the chamber, he's informed me that a lot of the businesses, they're all abiding by the mask rules. They're all wearing the masks. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. So it's good to see that the businesses are following suit. It's just, if we could just get more people on board to, to wear these and just practice. And it's not as bad as it sounds. Honestly, it's not. I mean, I've learned it's a way of life, and it's a new way of life that we have to live to be able to not only protect ourselves, but to protect other people that we're talking with and coming in communication with on a daily basis.
Well, and as you know, we don't know what other folks' medical issues are.
Right.
You could have underlying issues, but it's not obvious when and God forbid you unfortunately infect someone, because you don't know. You could be asymptomatic and not
Right.
And still spread the virus. So we need to be thoughtful.
Yeah, I just found out recently somebody in my family chain has had COVID-19. I'm not going to say a name or anything like that, but they were pretty much for the most part asymptomatic. They had some headaches, but that was really about it. That's all they had. So they just self-quarantined for a couple years. And another friend of mine down in West Palm Beach, healthy as an ox, 31 years old, 32 years old, good friend of mine, and he caught COVID, and he told me it kicked his butt. I mean, he had no energy to do nothing, zero zip zilch. And then he woke up one day and it's like he felt better, and he went out in the yard, started doing yard work. So, it affects everybody differently.
Sure,
it really
absolutely.
does.
So, whether you believe in it or not, I think that in order to protect individuals, we have to do our diligence. And
do you have any important board meetings coming up? Any eventful things with the city? And
well, yesterday was a milestone, if you will, and then in 2 weeks, that meeting where we will be discussing whether or not we want to move forward with a mandate. That'll be a long meeting, and then
now that meeting that can be attended by the public, obviously.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Oh boy, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in there.
We also do Zoom, so you can zoom in. If
I
you
might
want
just
to.
want to for that one. I'd like to experience that sometime.
So, and it's unfortunate because the majority of the individuals that were there yesterday were anti-mask.
Were they?
And they were. I mean, their comments obviously. Some of their comments were unfortunate, as a community. It's just that you can have a difference of opinion, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Is Sailfish Splash still open during these hot summer months? Do you know, Karen?
Usually we stay open just on the weekends.
Okay.
But you should go online and double check our hours.
Well, with school being back now, it's probably just on the weekends.
Yeah, because we utilize the lifeguards. Most of them are students,
right?
School age students. So we try to stay open on the weekends through. Usually, last time I remember it was through September, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But yeah,
good, because it's been so hot.
I know. So
Bonnie's been going to her local pool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe we'll have to try something new and go to Sailfish pretty soon.
Yeah, come and see us.
Definitely so.
We're happy to have that. Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like they have some pretty high water slides from the pictures that
I
I've
went
seen.
down the
Did
tube. It was pretty. When they first opened, I haven't been back.
Did your mask fly off?
We didn't have masks back then.
Yeah.
It was nice. Yeah.
It was a mask-free zone back then.
It was a mask-free zone.
Wow.
Yeah, but we've taken precautions there as well
Okay.
to separate the patrons and to make sure that we don't have the the kids clustering and areas and
Cool
stuff
off
like that.
in a lazy river.
Yep,
too.
the lazy
Yeah.
river's phenomenal.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So, in closing, Taryn, what would you like to say to our listeners that are listening? Updates on anything?
Well, we are in the middle of an election season, so
Mhm.
do your duty. And next Tuesday is election day, but
Mhm.
the elections office has been open for early voting.
Okay.
I went over there on Saturday. They've got it very well managed as far as keeping everything sanitized down to they hand you a pen
Mhm.
and you get to keep the pen.
Okay.
So
Get a souvenir.
you get a souvenir.
Okay,
So
all right.
so you can go into the elections office and do early voting.
We
So-
did mail-in ballots. My
Did
wife
you?
and I. Yeah, we
Yeah.
submitted for them, and like within 24 hours, they were in my mailbox, and we filled it out. And it's the same thing that you get that you're handed when you go to vote. And then after you bubble in what you have to bubble in, you seal the envelope and you sign the back of the envelope attesting. You take the oath on the backside, and you sign the envelope, and your signature goes across where it's sealed
seal?
shut. Yes.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I've never done that, but
Yeah.
I hear a lot
very,
of people
very
doing
cool.
that.
It's very, very cool to do. I've never done mail-in voting before.
Yeah.
So it's a nice safety feature.
So we have that next week, and then the following week we have our board meeting.
Wow,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Super Bowl,
and then
we'll call
August
that.
is almost over.
I know.
It's amazing.
Wow. Before we know it, Christmas is going to be here. And I was telling Bonnie earlier, I hate to see what Christmas is going to look like at the mall, what they're going to do with Santa this year. Are they going to put the poor guy in a bubble? Are the kids going to be able to come face to face with Santa, sit on his lap, get a picture? I don't know what Christmas is going to look like this year.
Well, if everybody's donning a mask, that'll be the challenge. I know
Yeah.
the mall is requiring masks.
Yeah.
Some of the stores are telling you can't come in unless you have a
Mhm.
mask.
Which
So,
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of that.
So we'll see, but a lot of folks
Okay.
will probably do online.
Okay. All right. Our very special guest this morning for this segment has been the Martin County Administrator, Taryn Krista, who surprised us to come and visit us today. And we have an open door policy. You're always welcome to just stroll in here anytime that you want and be on the radio with us.
I really take you up on that.
Yeah,
you
please
know?
do. You can come sit in for 3 whole hours if you want.
Oh,
and
no, I
co-host
can't
with
do
us.
that.
But you're
No
al-
time
you're-
for that.
You're always welcome to come and come in studio with us. It's an open door.
Well, thank
we
you.
love having you in
Thank
here.
you. I appreciate that.
It was such an honor and
very
pleasure to have
refreshing,
you.
isn't
Yes,
it?
it really was.
It's as refreshing as that
Oh,
Clorox
man.
and Lysol we
I
have
know.
over there.
I
We
heard
brag
a-
about spraying
I
everywhere.
heard this on the door. And I'm like, somebody's at the door. Who's here? And I look and I see the shadow. Like, it's Taryn. She's here. I got all excited.
Well, I appreciate you all letting us have an opportunity to communicate with the community and tell them what's going on.
Oh, it's our pleasure. It's all
And thank you for bringing us the news on what's going on out there.
Yeah, definitely
Happy
so.
to.
Definitely so. Thank you so much. News time right now. It is 8:25. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A woman who was shot by her ex-boyfriend in front of several children inside an Indiantown home on Tuesday morning has died, authorities say. WPTV's Megan McRoberts was live on the scene with more.
The sheriff says that shooter actually is in custody right now and even confessed to shooting his ex-girlfriend while there were children inside of her home. Investigators say 27-year-old Donald Williams may have been upset over a social media video post. He went to the victim, 32-year-old Maribel Morales' home and shot her multiple times. Then investigators say he took off and tried to take the county's public bus to Stewart, but the bus driver noticed he was acting suspiciously and called 911. SWAT members already in the area for training took him into custody and even found the stolen gun on the bus. One of 6 children, ages ranging from 10 to 17, had just logged on to their remote learning for Warfield Elementary School when the shooting happened.
The teacher said that she heard a commotion, heard profanity, realized there was some kind of domestic altercation, still can see the child that's online. The teacher said she mutes her button. Nobody has to hear it. And then she sees the 10-year-old put her hands up to her ears. Almost immediately after the child put her hands up to her ear, the computer screen went blank. We knew the computer was hit with a projectile.
And this couple does have a history of domestic violence. Grief services, counseling are being offered to the teacher and these children. Reporting live in Martin County, I'm Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
Martin County schools opened their doors on Tuesday morning and welcomed students and teachers back into the classroom. WPTV's Ryan Hughes has the story.
Chloe Tolton walking off the school bus after finishing her first day as freshman at Martin County High School and the first time back in a classroom since the coronavirus crisis.
It's definitely different to have the teachers like not interact with you as they normally would. Like no one can get super close to you.
Chloe's mom snapping back to school photos in the backyard. Then the 14-year-old boarding a bus where students now have to socially distance.
I sit on the bus with my good friend and we're not like squished together. We're a good way apart.
Masks are now required on campus, and junior Stephen Okie tells us he did see changes inside the building.
At lunch, there's a limit to the amount of people per table, and every other chair is marked off so you can't sit in it.
In the hallways, they put down tape and arrows to direct you, and there were only one-way hallways.
Despite that, Stephen says the first day felt almost normal, and the conversation at the lunch table.
Nothing really about corona or anything going on, just friends catching up.
Both students say they want to go back to school because virtual learning wasn't for them. It's the first step forward, and they both hope it sticks and everyone stays healthy.
I also know that I'm going to practice like the procedures of staying healthy and good hygiene. So I know that I'm going to keep myself as healthy as I possibly can.
And the superintendent says that 38% of students in the district chose virtual learning to begin the school year, but they can switch to in-classroom instruction later down the road. In Martin County, Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
Lastly, Indiana State College's main campus is getting a new name, Edwin R. Massey Campus. Indian River State College as a whole have been forever enriched as a result of Dr. Massey's bold vision, transformational leadership, and unwavering commitment to helping tens of thousands of students succeed in their educational pursuits. IRC's board chair, Jose Conrado, said this. Our basketball scores, NBA from yesterday. Taking a win, we see the Sacramento Kings. Portland wins. Milwaukee Bucks take a win. And the Brooklyn Nets, too, beat the Orlando Magic 108-96. The Rockets losing to the Spurs 123-105. The Suns taking over the 76ers yesterday 130-117. And the Boston Celtics do take a win. They beat the Grizzlies 122-107. News Time 8:29, weather and traffic together are next.
$8:31 the time to Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
It's a nice, smooth ride on your way to find the kids getting back to school here in Martin County. Look for them. Look for the school buses. Use caution while you're driving this morning. And your latest look at traffic. It's 79 in Stewart. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with some coastal rainfall possible. This afternoon, hot and humid with highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies and light southeasterly winds. Showers and thunderstorms will develop close to the coast this afternoon and then slowly move inland, and a few strong storms are possible. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 1450, Martin County's Heritage Station.
If you have a suggestion for the show, we would love to hear from you. Send us an email to WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:35 the time right now. Let's go to Randy Siegel, standing by with our daily dose of space and another place. Good morning, Randy.
Good morning, sir. A lot of space history today. Back in 1960, NASA launched its Project Echo. That was a large balloon with shiny surface that could bounce communications off of it using microwaves. In 1962, the Russians launched astronaut Andrei Nikolaev into space, where he met up with Pavel Popovich on another spacecraft. Even though they did not dock, they did rendezvous in space. We also had the High Energy Observatory, launched in 1977. The Marsens Orbiter, which is still working today, in 2005. And we followed that by the Parker Solar Probe in 2018. And we're getting a lot of great information about our own sun thanks to that vehicle. On board the International Space Station, the crews continue to work and get ready to release the Kanatori spacecraft. They have filled it with a lot of junk, and they will then have the Canadarm2 remove it from the end of the station, and it will be removed from the Harmony module. Chris Cassidy will then command Canadarm2 to release it into space, completing its 85-day stay on for a fiery re-entry over South Pacific Ocean. And there should be no would pose any danger. The HTV delivered a Space Frontier studio for live broadcast inside the Japanese Kiva Laboratory module. And Cassidy set up the live streaming hardware for events highlighting science activity inside that module. He completed work in the microgravity science glove box, where he disconnected and stowed hardware that investigated water droplet behavior in microgravity. Anatoly Ivanushin continued working on the long-running Earth observation study on the Russian side of the station. The experiment is helping scientists monitor the forecast natural man-made catastrophes around the station and around the world. Fellow cosmonaut and flight engineer Ivan Wagner worked during the morning hours testing broadband video communications gear. The first-time flyer also serviced the ventilation subsystems in the Vezda module. It has been proposed by Michael Roberts, the International Space Station's National Laboratory interim chief, that the International Space Station be considered for the Nobel Peace Prize. He feels that this particular vehicle has been in space and it has brought the world together, and it has shown that many countries can work side by side on the International Space Station in peace. There have been many who have worked on board the station from all different countries, and now he says it's time to award that the Nobel Peace Prize. The Russians are saying that their next spacewalk will take place at the end of this year. Two Russian cosmonauts, Sergei Kuzhev, have been working and studying on Earth for taking a spacewalk. He says that they will have a second spacewalk during the first half of 2021. So the Russians are getting ready to go outside. The science module, Nuka, for the International Space Station has been moved from Moscow to Baikonur. Lastly, we want to tell you that companies are flying their spacecrafts in orbit, especially commercial geostationary satellites, much longer than their designed life, thus saving a lot of money and increasing the lifespan of satellites. Tomorrow we'll tell you how the pandemic is hitting one company as well as Rocket Lab getting ready to fly. So until then, have a great day, everybody.
That's your daily dose of space in another place with the one and only Randy Siegel. Here Monday through Friday at 8:30 on the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. Head on over to Ellie's Downtown Deli, where Bonnie is standing by with some. Every time you do this, it makes me hungry.
I know, and they have the freshest ingredients too, Evan. Ellie's Deli is chef owned and operated, nothing but the freshest ingredients and a very helpful, friendly staff. Yeah. You can enjoy a boom boom chicken wrap today.
Boom boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's amazing and as fun as it seems. Order it. And if you're in the Stuart area, if you're hard at work, you can order. Ellie's Deli will deliver it to you. Yes, it's called a boom boom chicken wrap with oven roasted chicken in a wrap of your choice with roasted red peppers, carrots, red onion. You get mozzarella cheese in there too with their boom boom sauce and mixed greens served with a side of your choice. So have some fresh potato salad. Maybe make it black and green olives, coleslaw on the side. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart now has their patio back open too. Plus they are % dining inside with a full menu for pickup or delivery. Ellie's also has full dinners available for takeout, plus their fabulous dinners as well. Call 772-781-6605 to order and pick up today. They're located 18 Southeast 6th Street, just off Colorado in Stuart. Call 772-781-6605. Ellie's Downtown Deli in Stuart.
Time for the Precious Metals Report. It's all brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. Gold is opening up at $1,935.70 an ounce. Silver opening up at $25.48 an ounce. That's the Precious Metals. All been brought to you by St. Lucie Jewelry and Coin. 8:42 news time once again. Let's go to the news desk where Bonnie's standing by. Good morning, Bonnie.
Good morning, Evan. A woman who was shot by her ex-boyfriend in front of several children inside an Indiantown home on Tuesday morning has died, authorities say.
The sheriff says that shooter actually is in custody right now and even confessed to shooting his ex-girlfriend while there were children inside of her home. Investigators say 27-year-old Donald Williams may have been upset over a social media video post. He went to the victim, 32-year-old Maribel Morales' home and shot her multiple times. Then investigators say he took off and tried to take the county's public bus to Stuart, but the bus driver noticed he was acting suspiciously and called 911. SWAT members already in the area for training took him into custody and even found the stolen gun on the bus. One of 6 children, ages ranging from 10 to 17, had just logged on to their remote learning for Warfield Elementary School when the shooting happened.
The teacher said that she heard a commotion, heard profanity, realized there was some kind of domestic altercation, still can see the child that's online. The teacher said she mutes her button. Nobody has to hear it. And then she sees the 10-year-old put her hands up to her ears. Almost immediately after the child put her hands up to her ear, the computer screen went blank. We know the computer was hit with a projectile.
And this couple does have a history of domestic violence. Grief services and counseling are being offered to the teacher and these children. Reporting live in Martin County, I'm Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
Martin County schools open their doors Tuesday morning and welcome students and teachers back in the classroom. WPTV's Ryan Hughes has the story.
Chloe Tolton walking off the school bus after finishing her first day as a freshman at Martin County High School and the first time back in a classroom since the coronavirus crisis.
It's definitely different to have the teachers
Photos in the backyard, then the 14-year-old boarding a bus where students now have to distance.
I sit on the bus with my good friend and we're not squished together. We're a good way apart.
Masks are now required on campus, and junior Stephen Okie tells us he did see changes inside the building.
At lunch, there's a limit to the amount of people per table, and every other chair is marked off.
They put down tape and arrows to direct you, and there were only
lunch table.
Nothing really about Corona or anything going on, just friends catching up.
Both students say they wanted to go back to school because virtual learning wasn't for them. It's the first step forward, and they both hope it sticks and everyone stays healthy.
I also know that I'm going to practice the procedures of staying healthy and good hygiene. So I know that I'm going to keep myself as healthy as I possibly can.
And the superintendent says that 38% of students in the district chose virtual learning to begin the school year, but they can switch to in-classroom instruction. News Channel 5.
Lastly, Stewart police trying to locate and identify a vehicle they say caused a fatal accident in Stewart. The incident happened on July 31st at around 10:45 p.m. on US 1 between Lockhart and Indian River Streets. Police said a white late model four-door Chevy Silverado was traveling southbound on US 1 when the mattresses being hauled fell into the roadway, causing the fatal crash. And police are asking anyone with a similar vehicle who would have been hauling mattresses or anyone with information to call 772-220-3908. College football players took to Twitter this week to lobby the NCAA to save their season. Now high school players in Florida are taking the same approach. Late Monday, an online petition was created that endorsed the Florida High School Athletic Association to allow sports to be played as planned this fall. The petition, titled "Let Them Play in Florida," is on the website change.org and received more than 2,000 signatures in a little more than 5 hours toward its goal of 7,500. News time, it's 8:47, and weather and traffic together are next.
$8:48 the time of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. It's time for traffic and weather together, all brought to you by Code Red Roofers. Bonnie?
In our latest traffic report, Evan, not seeing any accidents right now. This is looking good in both counties as you're heading out this morning. St. Lucie County, Martin County, the major highways, US 1 looking clear. There's your latest look at traffic. Good looking sunshine. It's 79 in Palm City. Here's our forecast at WPTV.
This morning here on the Treasure Coast, warm and humid with some coastal rainfall possible. This afternoon, humid with highs in the low 90s, partly sunny skies and light southeasterly winds. Showers and thunderstorms will develop close to the coast this afternoon and then slowly move inland, and a few strong storms are possible. I'm WPTV First Alert meteorologist Glenn Glazer on WSTU AM 14, Martin County's Heritage Station.
Do you have a suggestion for the show? Send us an email, WSTUmorningshow@gmail.com. And now let's get back to the Get Up and Go show. Here's Evan and Bonnie.
8:50 right now on the Get Up and Go show. Would help if I turn the microphones on. We have a phone call. Never fails. The phone always rings as we're coming back from commercial break.
Yeah,
but-
just as we're almost ready to go home.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, who's this?
Are you ready to go home?
Oh, okay. Well, it's the old man. Okay. All right. Well, welcome to the program, old man. You're becoming a regular on the program. How are you today?
Well, we're doing okay. We're going to leave in a few hours to start heading. We're going to head to probably down through Indiana, probably into Kentucky.
Okay.
That's
all
some
right.
pretty scenery through there.
Are you going to stop and visit my good friend George?
We just might, because Edna says she wants to, go to the Amish market and pick up some things there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know Edna enjoys shopping at the Amish market. She likes getting those eggs and the milk and the butter and all that other good stuff, huh?
Oh, yeah, she sure does.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. So when are you guys going to be pulling out? How's the Winnebago doing? That's a 1987 Winnebago with a couple 100,000 miles on it,
Good
right?
gosh, I can only smell in that Winnebago.
Oh, Bonnie, be nice.
But is it like
1987 Winnebago.
gosh,
right?
my allergies would go haywire.
It may smell like Brian Williams or Gary Busey.
Yeah, it's 33 years old, Bonnie,
Wow.
that thing. 33 years old.
Yeah.
And here's the best part about it. The old man and Edna, they're the original owners of this thing.
Edna keeps that thing alive.
Yeah. So if you were to give up the Winnebago, would that put tear in your eye?
That would put money in my pocket.
I guess so.
Okay. All right. So if you were to sell the Winnebago, did you name the Winnebago, by the way? Because, people name their vehicles. So have you given the Winnebago a name?
Well, not really. Edna calls it something else.
Okay. What does Edna call it?
The old hit and run.
The old hit and run vehicle.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. Sounds like there's some history there.
Have y'all hit an animal with that thing before?
Well, that's how we get dinner sometimes. Roadkill.
Oh, jeez. Oh,
You
that's
just
not
spoiled
good.
my appetite for the rest of the morning.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can go to Ellie's downtown. Ellie.
Oh, man.
I was going to have a delicious salad. Now I don't know if I want to yet.
Fun. Have you ever eaten venison before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, that's deer.
Deer meat, venison sausage too.
Right, but except you cook your venison, the old man scrapes it up off the road
Oh,
and eats it that way.
Yeah,
a little
but I never
make venison stew.
I never liked venison because of that gamey taste that it has.
What is a gamey taste?
A gamey
What's
taste?
a game
is,
taste? Like Monopoly?
Like
Parcheesi?
It's like
Monopoly.
meat that really hasn't been processed, or gone through processing, and it has that gamey, wild kind of flavor to it.
I wouldn't know. I've never scraped up roadkill before.
Well, Bonnie,
yeah.
Bonnie, you got to learn how to cut up the meat and marinate it overnight.
Marinate it.
Get that gaminess out.
Now, did
Season
you
it
say
right.
marinate or did you say ferment? Which one?
Marinate.
Oh, okay. All right. Just want to
Marinating.
make sure.
Mhm.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah. And there's some good marinating sauces out there too. You just like go into every
yeah,
grocery
sure.
aisle and there's so many choices now. It's wonderful.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, old man, we wish you well and safe travels. When are you pulling out? Later today?
Yeah, later today sometime. Edna's packing up some stuff, checking the Winnebago, the engine, the oil, and all that stuff.
Do you do anything with the Winnebago or do you just have Edna do it all?
Oh, no. I sit and watch her. That's pretty good enough.
Okay. Wow.
Wow, you must
What a
be like
life.
her. You might be her knight in shining armor.
Well, you crack the whip and she jumps,
You just
huh?
get away with so much, old man.
Jeez.
Gosh. We are
Okay.
appalled.
I help her out. Yes, I do.
Yeah, you watch. That's about all you do.
I hope you make her some breakfast sometime. You
Do you-
should make her some this morning.
Oh yeah, I made her some fresh bacon we got from they killed a hog and oh my goodness, that's some good bacon.
Oh gosh.
Okay. All right. Well, that's where bacon comes from.
Yeah.
So they're making bacon in more ways than one.
Ooh, Edna.
Calm down there, old man. Calm down. All right. All right, old man. We're gonna let you run. Thank you so much for calling in and check in with us tomorrow. Let us know where your travels are. Okay.
Okay, well,
All right,
we'll talk to you later.
that's the old man down the road. He always makes it a point to check in. Bonnie, I have a list of top 5 most unhealthy snacks. The top 5 most unhealthy snacks. Would you like to know what they are?
I think number one, if I can guess, I bet it's Cheetos,
No.
right?
Wrong.
I bet that's one of the most unhealthiest
Nope.
chips, though.
Coming in at number 5, egg yolk shakes. Egg
Oh,
yolk shakes.
Wow. What?
Yeah.
I've
Does
never.
that turn your stomach?
I've never had an egg yolk shake.
Egg yolk shake.
That doesn't sound
Top
very.
5 most unhealthy snacks.
It's kind of a sickening morning talking about roadkill and
Yeah.
and egg shakes.
That's right.
and-
It's going to get better.
Ugh.
Coming in at number 4, bacon grease soup. Bacon grease soup.
Hey, throw a couple of beans in there
Okay.
and
Right.
maybe a little bit of ham chunks,
Okay.
and that might be good.
Coming in at number 3, butter shooters. Yeah, butter shots of butter.
Oh, wow.
Coming in at number 2,
Butterscotch shots,
yes.
maybe.
Coming in at number 2, lard burgers. Lard burgers.
Well, those sound as good at what's the chain that makes the butter burger?
I couldn't tell you.
I think that's Culver's.
Couldn't tell you.
When you hear butter burgers, you think of a just
Mhm.
burger made in butter and grease and real fattening, but they're actually really good.
Coming in at number 1, deep fried salad.
Wow.
Deep fried salad.
Sounds like something to enjoy at the fair. I think at the fair you
Yeah.
can get just about anything deep fried now.
Lastly, okay, and please, folks, if you're overweight, please don't take this personally, but the top 5 signs that you need to exercise. Okay, coming in at number 5, you drive your car from the garage to get to the driveway. Okay. Number 4, pouring a bowl of cereal makes you break out in a sweat.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Too
coming in
much
at
on your arms.
Yes, coming in at number 3, you pull a muscle blowing your nose. Okay, coming in at number 2, you consider crossword puzzles exercise.
Yeah.
Okay, and coming in at number 1, the top 5 signs you need exercise. Coming in at number 1, you get winded changing channels on the remote control.
Right. That means you're watching too many channels, spending too much time in
Watching
front of the TV.
way too many channels on the TV.
Or your neck hurts simply by looking in your trying to find your blind spot while driving.
Yeah.
You get that neck pain.
Definitely so. So what's on the agenda for you today, Bonnie? What are you doing today?
I have to go and get some computer printout paper
Okay.
for the printing machine here.
All right.
So I'm getting some office supplies
All right.
and some kitty cat food.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and there's that wonderful store that I like to go to. They have the salad kits on sale. Buy one, get one free today.
Oh, so it's a BOGO kind of a Wednesday.
Plus Muller's pasta is buy one, get one free too, in case people want to
Really?
go grocery
Okay.
shopping.
All right. All right.
Just look at your flyer.
I finished off the leftover pasta yesterday.
Oh, yummy.
For lunch when I got home.
Yeah.
That's a wrap for us, folks. The Wednesday edition of the Get Up and Go show with Evan and Bonnie. We'll be back tomorrow for Thursday. We always say ciao mein.
Honduras.
And Arriba Dirty. Have a great day. Be kind to one another.
And stay hearty, my friends. Drink hearty, eat hearty today.
Yes, and sleep hearty as well. Have a great day, folks. We're WSTU Stewart, Martin County's Heritage Station. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 6 a.m. Bye-bye for now.